right, welcome back to Last Second Sports, where we are giving you our take down to the last second. And tonight is a call-in show, probably like none other that we've had on the show, because Trey Lance seems to be the starter on Sunday, or is he? There's some conflicting information. George Kittle was recently on 95.7 saying he thinks that Jimmy Garoppolo will play. Jimmy Garoppolo says he's going to try to play, but a torn UCL is a big deal. If you do not understand that injury, it is a ligament tear right here at the base of your thumb, right where that web of the thumb is, right in there. That's what allows you to grip a football. So the fact that that ligament is torn, I have my doubts. I do not think that he's going to play. I think it is the Trey Lance era, but I want to hear from all of you right now. I've got the back room stacked up, so we're going to jump right into it. Let me change the overlay for y'all, and then we will get to my guy, Korean 49er. That's the way we always start off in here. Hold up. Boom. What's up, Korean 49er?
Not too much, Jesse. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. What's on your mind? What is going through your mind with all of these crazy things that seem to be happening in 49er land right now?
Several points I want to talk to you about, Jesse. The first one is, does a tiger change its stripes? Does a leopard change its spots? Does a male lion not have a mane? To me, we all know what Jimmy is.
Yep.
And that game against Tennessee is more proof of it. He threw to Janoris Jenkins when he was blanketing George Kittle in the end zone. He threw that near interception to Rashaan Evans. He should use that for his next contract. I can get in front of quarterbacks and get near interceptions. And that one pass to Juszczyk that he missed, that should have at least been a big gain. So, and then the team had a 5-yard rushing average against Tennessee, and they stopped running the ball. What are you doing? Kyle, this is the second time this season. I'm kind of getting tired of his act, and to me, that's just more of the same from him. Also, the third thing is, you knew that A.J. Brown was going to come back, and he is the only primarily impact receiver for the Titans, and we can't at least limit his effectiveness. I mean, you know that he's going to make almost every catch within reason outside of some plays, but he was just shredding us, and we had no answer for him in the second half. And we knew that it was going to him every time.
We did know, and he's a beast. By the way, I've been saying for a long time that he is better than DK Metcalf, and I truly believe that. I think A.J. Brown is an absolute beast. I loved him coming out of college. I'm glad we got Debo. Obviously, Debo's turned into an absolute savage himself, but A.J. Brown is really unguardable. So the fact that he tore them apart should not be a surprise to anyone, but the defense did enough to win that game. And Jimmy Garoppolo right now is not cutting it. I think it's time to play Trey Lance. I'm with you. We've seen what Jimmy Garoppolo brings to this team. It's not going to change. The 49ers just lost a game clearly because of their quarterback. Trey Lance may come in and not be the greatest. He's a rookie, but I can live with that at this point. It's time to move on from Jimmy G.
I mean, if we started Trey, excuse me, from the beginning of the season, I think for next season he would have been at least much better, because all these other rookie quarterbacks are at least getting better outside of Justin Fields in Chicago, but that's not saying very much about Chicago and quarterbacks. But to me, this game against Houston is another winnable game, even though they did beat Tennessee by getting all those turnovers earlier in the season, when Tennessee just kept giving them the ball every time. I believe Houston got 5 takeaways in that game. So we need to get at least 21 points at halftime and just demoralize Houston. Because to me, they should have gotten at least 17 points before halftime against Tennessee. They blew that chance at every chance they got.
Here's the thing, and people are talking about Houston like it's for sure a win. Houston is not going to lay down. They had a really good game against the Chargers. They're number 6 in the league and force turnovers out of the passing game. So they will put you in tough spots, whether it's Jimmy or it's Trey. Chances are they're going to get some sort of interception. That's just the way that they've played all season long. So, with that being the case, you have to expect that it's going to be a hard fought game. So, walking into this saying that the 49ers are going to win and the Texans are going to lay down, I don't expect that at all. And so, expecting that Trey Lance or even Jimmy Garoppolo is just going to walk into this game and win it, I don't think it's going to go that easy, unfortunately.
I don't think so either. They gave New England a great game, even though New England had injuries and to their starting offensive line. I still think even no, I don't have COVID. I live
Yeah.
I live outside Chicago and it's really cold, so throat gets real nasally this through the winter. So what do you? It just kind of is what it is.
Yeah,
And we're
exactly.
getting almost 10 inches of snow on Saturday, so
Ugh, no
I need to go do my shopping before any of that stuff comes.
I'm in Florida, man. It's 80 degrees here. I'm just sorry.
Just is what it is, man. I understand it. So I enjoyed Fort Lauderdale when I was there a couple months ago. So, but
Yeah.
I think it'll be a close game. I think they're gonna beat Houston, but I think it'll be a 7-point game. I can't recall the score off the top of my head what the line is, but I think it'll be 27-20.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally fair. I think it'll be a close game. Do you think it makes a difference whether Trey plays or Jimmy plays, real quick?
I think it will because most teams can easily game play for Jimmy. You know, just clog the middle, take away the middle of the field, and stop and just take your chances on stopping the run.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's the most basic game plan a defense can have out when they're taking on Jimmy as a starting quarterback.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, right? Eat up the middle, play cover one robber. We know that Jimmy's going to throw one up for us. It's just a matter of us taking advantage. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. With Trey, it's a whole different game plan. So we'll see what they do. We'll see what happens on Sunday. My gut's that Trey's going to play, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, to me, if they have that same game plan they had against Arizona when Jimmy was hurt, we're not going to win this game.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. They have to play it very different. His finger's healthy. Kittle's back. Ayuk's not in the doghouse like he was in that game. I would hope and expect that they have a better game plan ready to roll. So thank you, Ekim, Korean 49er. I appreciate you always.
One last question for you, Jesse.
Yeah, what's up?
With the Chicago Bears beating the Seattle Seahawks this past weekend in snowy Seattle.
Yep.
And we can't even beat Seattle once this season. To me, the Bears game was a fluke because if Debo doesn't catch that screen pass for 8 and then take it for 80-something yards, we would have lost that game.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Let's not forget that Detroit just did what the 49ers couldn't do as well. They beat Arizona. So
that's true too. So.
All right, brother. Have a good one. All right. That Niner guy, I'm coming to you. And then I'm going to go to Matt and then William, and we'll keep it going from there. Anybody who tried to call in, I only have a limit of 10 people that can be in the green screen room. It got filled up super quick. So you can call in now. I have an open spot. That Niner guy, I'm coming to you, my guy.
Jesse,
what's going on, man?
What's up, my friend? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, brother. How you been?
I'm good. Hey, you know what? Could be worse, man. We're actually going to see Trey Lance play.
That's the hope, anyways, right?
No, let's cut the crap. He's going to start. It's not. Come on. Here's what I will say. If Grant is sitting there saying, "Dude, Jimmy just walked out here like he just was like kid not going to class today with his hand in ice," it's trouble, right?
You're right. You're right.
And so it's going to be Trey. Let's all, be excited, cautiously hopeful. Because the one thing I will say, I think that's we're not talking about enough is that they're going to run the ball probably 50, 60 times as they should.
Yeah.
But the problem with the passing game that I kind of see is that if they're going to go back under center, and do a lot of the play action stuff, the deep drops, there's, stretch zones, boots, maybe they'll be a lot more boot oriented. But a lot of Kyle's drop back passing game, he hasn't really run the boot that much. He hasn't really run the boot since Brian Hoyer. So that's kind of the weird thing about Kyle. And so it's going to be interesting to see him either get back to the boot game or doing the long drop backs. And I don't know, man, it's putting Trey in a crappy situation because the one thing about that no one talks about is timing. It's all about timing, hitting that last step, stepping up in the pocket, and just making a decision on the slant or the deep end or the corner route, whichever way the ball's going. So everyone, just let's get it out there. Just remember that if they're going to go back to the old Kyle Shanahan offense, it may not look 100% great. But
yeah,
come on, we all want to see this, and it doesn't matter anymore. Goodbye, Jimmy. Like that song, Farewell Stranger. Goodbye, Jimmy. It's been nice. See you later. Like, I feel bad for the guy. I do, but his season's crazy. We could be in first place in the division.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part about this fricked up season we have, is that we honestly should be in first place. And I know
what's the one game that sticks in your craw the most? Like the one game that you look at right now and go, gosh, if we could have just won that one. What's that game for you?
Oh, I would probably say the Packer game, just because that kind of sowed in the seeds of doubt to start the season, right? Like after the Packer game, they come back against Seattle and guys are running around wide open and Jimmy's playing good, but then not playing good. And then he throws the pick. Then he gets hurt, and then Trey comes in. They lose the next couple. Well, they lost 4 in a row. They lost after they lost 3 in a row, 4 in a row, counting the Packer game. That was the one that kind of threw the season off, right? I would say, you win that game, you lose to Seattle. Okay, you're 3-2 at least at the bye. It's just a little bit of a different feel to the season, right? Because I don't know about you, but how many times did most Niner fans think, man, the season might be over? Like for a team that everyone is saying, oh, is going to go on a fat run in the playoffs. Come on, guys. How many times have we been thinking to ourselves in your mind, like, we are one loss away from the season being over? And this team is not consistent at all.
No, and that's the other point. I'm glad that you brought that up, because this team is not consistent, which means how the heck can you think that they're just going to roll in and beat the Texans? Yeah, I don't see it. That they haven't earned that. A couple times they've done what they were supposed to do, where they blew out the Falcons, they blew out Jacksonville. But I don't expect this team to steamroll anybody. I don't think that they've earned the ability or through their wins for us to even consider that as a guarantee against any of these teams.
No, 100%. And the thing, and not to kind of change subjects, but because I know you got other callers, so I kind of want to move on to the last bit about Trey. Yeah. And this is the thing that, like, I think you've talked about this the most. Like, I got hooked onto your stuff from you going on Grand Show and talking about Trey Lance and why it's the right reason to play him. And I've been agreeing with you the whole time, is that you start him now with this team. And yes, he will struggle, but the team can overcompensate with his splash plays. And you know what? He'll get better as the season goes on, right?
Yep.
But looking at this situation, I understand the cap's going to balloon up, right? In 2023, It's going to balloon up. They're going to get D Ford will retire / post June 1st cut. They're going to get some money back. Jimmy will be gone. There's a possibility in a world where Eric Armstead gets cut. I think that could happen, just because his product. You can tell that they asked about Eric Armstead. They like, we moved him inside. Really helped our defense, but he helped our defense. They don't talk about his actual play. They just say it helped our defense.
Right.
And that's because he's not worth what they gave him. And so we're going into 2022, and this team's going to look drastically different. I don't think Niner fans are fully aware of how different this team is going to look. And it's going to be really hard. Thankfully for Trey, the top 3 offensive weapons will be back. Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, right? Trent Williams will be here. Laken Tomlinson, free agent. I don't know. Probably. They like Laken. They've been good to Laken, so I could see a good relationship there. Alex Mack, maybe he retires. That is a legitimate concern. Right guard. We need a new right guard. And
this team is going to be completely different next year. Yeah. Completely.
And so that's the thing, is like playing him when he had maybe you never know in the NFL. This could have been the best team that Trey Lance ever could have been on. You never know what's going to happen in the NFL. When you have a playoff roster and a young quarterback, just like New England did, you overcompensate for their flaws. And New England has a very good roster. I wouldn't go on to say stacked. If they had Stephon Gilmore, I would say maybe they were a stacked roster.
Right.
But that whole situation blew up in their face. But Bill doesn't care. That was the things, like, this you don't have these opportunities. They don't fall into your lap all the time. But John, I don't think it's particularly Kyle, because Kyle, if John was running the show, there's a chance that some of these guys wouldn't be here. Like I genuinely believe that Kyle's the only reason why the Trent Williams deal got done. I genuinely believe Kyle has gone out of his way to make sure Kittle gets his money and Fred Warner gets his money, and make sure that, hey, like, we're not going to be the low-balling organization anymore. We're getting away from that prog. I don't know if John Lynch has the balls to do that. I think I like John Lynch as a person, although I think he talks way too much, and he's been putting his foot in his mouth practically ever since he's gotten this job, because he keeps talking about all these players they really liked, and some of them like, are you serious? You really liked him? I mean, going unscriptedly saying the best 3 players in their first draft were Myles Garrett, then Solomon Thomas, and then Reuben Foster really makes you look stupid. I mean, that draft was loaded.
Yeah. There was a lot of good players in that draft. A lot of good players. Niner guy, real quick before I get you out of here, because I got a stacked back room. I hate to cut you off.
No worries, dude.
Do the 49ers win on Sunday?
I don't know, man. I probably depends. Are they going to show up?
I got you. I feel you. All right. Listen, you said all that needs to be said. I agree with you. All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too, buddy.
All right, man. All right, let me get to this super chat. Then I'm gonna get to you, William. You're gonna be next. A couple people dropped out. So George Bailey says the only way that Jimmy plays is because he's the best hander offer. That's fair. That's totally fair. He's good at being the handoff guy. There's no doubt about that. But I think Trey's pretty good in play action. So, might be worth a look there. But anytime somebody gives a donation here, I got to give a thanks. And this is how I do it. All right, I'm gonna bring on William. What's going on, man?
Hey, how you doing, Jed?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Hey, this is my first time ever in a call in. Usually I'm on Rob or Grant's show where I see you at, but you're my first. But I just wanted to say, first off, a shout out to John Madden and his family for the loss of John Madden. I literally haven't played Madden in 2 years, but I bought Madden 22 because Trey Lance is on it. But
Yeah.
I actually been playing it since last night, since I heard he passed away, and I've been doing big things with Trey Lance and on that Madden. That was out for you, John Madden, and to your family. Much condolences. I think we all have, been through that with Madden for so many years.
He's a goat, man. He really is a legend. His football games. I remember skipping college to go play in tournaments, Madden tournaments. Like, for me, Madden is will forever be a part of what I remember as football. And seeing that he passed, man, that was
You know how many girlfriends I done lost over Madden. You know how many fights and anger. Too many. But but back to the 49ers. What I was gonna say was, I think that as faithful, we have to realize that we cannot look for Trey Lance to come out there and honestly be the leader of this team Sunday. That team needs to support him, and us as fans need to support him. You got to realize this guy hasn't played in I don't know how long. Then you only gave him one start out of the whole season, which honestly, I didn't care if we went to the playoffs. I just wanted to see him get the reps in it. I was already ready for 2022. I was like, I'm not even worrying about this year. I'm tired of the hangover from the Super Bowl. I'm over that whole revenge tour junk. Honestly, it was nice that they signed everybody back, but I think Kyle Shanahan really was ready to move on. I think his hands was tied behind his back because John and Jed and them wanted to go for it again, and Parad was like, "Oh, we can get everybody back on a cheap contract." The vets like Jimmy. The reason why the vets like Jimmy so much is because Jimmy throws very short. He does not throw long. So yes, Kittle's gonna be his best friend. Yes, all of them, but the wide receivers in them are like, okay, where am I gonna get a chance? So with Trey, I think the wide receivers all have been waiting for him, but honestly, it was the vets that was like, okay, we want Jimmy. But I think everybody's on train now that Jimmy's just not the guy. He's not going to take us to a Super Bowl. We don't have the defense to get to a Super Bowl compared to some of these teams that are in the playoffs already. It is really crazy right now. I think people are sleeping on Houston. That Houston is coming off of a win high, and they're gonna really come into Santa Clara looking to dominate the 49ers, especially after seeing them lose like that to Tennessee. Hopefully, I hope Jimmy doesn't play. Not not wishing an injury on anybody or nothing, but you already know how to scheme for him. All you got to do is force the ball in Jimmy hands, and he's gonna turn it over. I seen on Instagram today that Jimmy sent out a message saying that he's confident that he's going to be ready to play the Texans Sunday. I hope that is not true. I'm just saying. I think Jimmy can manage enough to beat the Texans if he gets out of his way. But honestly, with all that's been done, you don't want somebody who you don't even know is 100% on board with the program right now in charge of your chance of going into the playoffs. You know, so I'm like, just give it to Lance, let him get the practice. Honestly, I think Lance can beat the Texans. He almost beat Arizona, and that was Arizona with a fully stacked roster when they were on a high, the only undefeated team in the league, and he almost beat them. I think that game was called poorly, and that's why we didn't win it. You see, Jimmy and them couldn't even beat Arizona without their weapons. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to Trey. I think if coached right, this team can still have a Super Bowl window. It may not be next year, but maybe in 2023. But it's just about now, you know, putting things in place and having smart expectations of what to get. Like Afunga, I like him, but he's not ready to take Tark place. He's just
Right.
that experience is just not there yet. You know what I'm saying? He's actually playing off of instinct and not really a lot of QB smart. Like football smarts. I coach youth football in Alexandria, and I tell kids all the time, you know, talent is one thing, but you got to have some kind of football IQ that will win games over you for you a lot of times. Just that's how Richard Sherman. People like, oh, Richard Sherman's in his 30s and stuff, but he's still picking people off. It wasn't because he was athletic anymore. He was smart. He's seen these
Yep.
things before. He knew what positions to be in. He knew what was going on, so he knew where to be to get that ball. People, and I think people sometimes miss that. Hopefully, Elijah Mitchell can play because that will take a load off of Trey. I think this time Kittle being active and playing with Trey will also give him another weapon. I do not want to see Trey running a lot. If Trey has to run, I hope it's off of the play breaking down, like Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't come out, or maybe you have a few scripted ones, but it's not always his plan, just like with Russell Wilson, to run. He does it as a last resort. And that's how Jimmy used to be before he tore his ACL.
Before the
But
ACL. Yep. Yep.
right, because I damaged my ACL, and that phantom pain, if you don't really work through it and get yourself past it, it can stay with you for a very long time. You will, I mean, every movement, everything will make you think you're gonna hurt it again. But honestly, I think Jimmy smiles a lot because, and I know some people, it's like this. You have some people who want to win a Super Bowl off their back. off their strength, off their talent. Jimmy has won Super Bowls. Jimmy has Jimmy got the money. He got the rings. Yeah, he would probably have liked to have had it under his own belt, but he got it. He's in that record book. So really, to be honest, whether Jimmy goes or not, I think he just smiles because he's like, I'm still paid. I still got rings. And I ain't gonna hold you up too long, but I just wanted to get that over. The only things I'm worried about for this game is two things. If Trey Lance plays,
Yeah,
his
listen,
connection. Go ahead. Go
here's
ahead.
what I want to say, William. First of all, Colin again, that was a hell of a take. I just let you go for like 7 minutes, and
Sorry.
you brought no, you brought it, and I appreciate it. I think you're plugged in as a Niner fan. I think you're exactly right as far as what the 49ers need to do. I think early on in the conversation, you talked about some of the strategy that they can do, getting Elijah Mitchell involved, moving the pocket for Trey Lance. I think all of those things are ways to victory. I think that really everything you said was spot on. I think you're super tapped in as a fan. I appreciate the call. One question I have for you.
Sure.
Let's say Jimmy plays. Does that
Mhm.
change what you think happens on Sunday?
If Jimmy plays, um, I think it's gonna be a lot closer game. Honestly,
Okay.
with if Trey plays, I think we would win that game by at least 10 points.
Okay.
That's just off of Trey legs. If Jimmy plays, I think we could possibly lose that game. I
Mm.
think it's not hard to tell how to beat Jimmy. If you shut the run game down and you close the middle and force Jimmy to throw to the. I mean, I've never in my life, and I'm 49, about to be 50. Oh, also, I'm 49 this year. I'm born on April 9th. That's why I tell people I was born to be a 49. It's 49.
Yeah, you are.
But
Jeez, that's crazy.
but I tell people I've never seen a quarterback make the money that Jimmy makes or supposed to be at the status. Because remember, Jimmy said he's better than Tom Brady, but couldn't throw a pass to a wide open tight fullback. I've never seen that. But I think if Jimmy plays, we may win by 7 points, and it won't be because of him. And we could, if the game is put in Jimmy's hands, we could possibly lose that game in Santa Clara. We're not a big winning team at home. Just saying.
No, you're right. You're right. They've had issues at home. They've definitely had issues. Sir, I'm going to get on to the next caller. I appreciate you. Good luck to the Niners. Let's hopefully they can get a victory, and hopefully, more importantly, we get to see Trey Lance play. I'm excited for it, brother.
All right, thanks, Jess.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Peace out.
All right, so we got a couple super chats here. I've got Eugene saying, "Did you notice the Waddle TD on Monday night? Misdirection jet sweep with Tua and Lindsey going left and Waddle going right. Great play for Debo and Lance. Yeah, they can do a lot with Debo and Lance. We'll talk about that in a second. And then Sean Walker, my guy from Niner Empire DMV, he says, love the show, especially earlier with Grant. Appreciate that. We'll try to call in when I get off in around 20 minutes. Trey Day is here. Yeah, I agree with you. As far as what was the end of that super chat there, you were talking about the play with Debo and Lance. There's a lot they can do. Let's not forget that Debo wasn't really running the ball when Trey Lance played last time. Ayuk wasn't out of the doghouse. Kittle didn't play. So there's a lot of optimism of what Trey Lance could do in this offense, and I hope that we get to see it. Before I get to you, Chef Tommy Huxley, I'm going to show some love the way that I always do whenever I get donations. And here we go. There you go. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? That always gets me every time.
Hey, I appreciate the donations, man. And I'm not going to get up and dance like Jackhammer does, so I figure I'll throw on a dance for y'all.
Right. Yeah, there is no way in hell Jimmy's playing this game.
You don't think there's a shot, huh?
No, man, come on.
I agree with you. I just
Doesn't this injury take like 6 to 8 weeks to heal?
Yeah, that's assuming you don't need surgery. If you need surgery, obviously it could be worse. If you don't need surgery, it's a 6 to 8 week injury. Yeah, normally.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little nervous just to having Lance in the game. I mean, I know if we run the ball, he's going to definitely help the run game. And the Texans' run defense is hot garbage.
Yeah, that's the flip side, right? So you look at their pass defense, they're number 6 in
Yep.
turnover rate, but their run defense is absolutely atrocious. Yes.
Yeah. But always when one team has terrible this, they usually show up when they play us for some reason.
Yeah, you're right about that. And I want to point this out because Steven says it. He says Drew Brees was out 5 to 6 weeks with the same injury. Let's not forget that Drew Brees played multiple weeks with multiple broken ribs. So Drew Brees is a tough player. So if he's going to sit out 5 to 6 weeks, that tells you that's probably what we're looking at for Jimmy. We're probably seeing IR and season done for Jimmy would be my prediction, but we'll see.
If he wants to play, I'd say playing the Rams game would be better if he can come back. I mean, because it's the Texans. But I know they're playing hard right now, and they want to spoil our Christmas, like one of the DBs said on Twitter.
Yeah, they do, right? Like that's the thing. Like think about the 2017 Niners. They were spoiling everybody's playoff hopes.
Oh, yeah.
And right now the Texans have a chance to do that they did it to the Chargers. They have a chance to do it to San Francisco. I mean, make no bones about it. They are coming out to win that game. Now, will they do it? Probably not. I think the 49ers should win, but don't take the game lightly as a fan. Like, expect that this game could get close.
Yeah, because I think the mindset, you got to have every game. This is a playoff game. The next game is possibly a playoff game because, the Saints could lose and then we clinch by a win. The 6th seed would be clinched, I think. That's what David Lombardi said.
Well, the 6th seed wouldn't be clinched if they win because what could happen is they could lose in week 18 and the Eagles could win. But if the Saints lose this week,
yeah, that's
and
what
the 49ers win, then they do clinch a playoff spot. It just isn't necessarily the 6th seed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got that wrong. Oh, and something that scares me about playing. Let's say we sweep the Rams, which is probably inevitable. I mean, I don't want to jinx it, but we've had their number even with Nick Mullins, for God's sake. But what scares me if we're going to play them in the playoffs, we're not going to win because it's impossible to beat a team 3 times. And look at the
play Arizona, right?
Yeah, exactly. And look at the Bucks. The Saints own the Bucks. I don't know what it is, but they swept them last year and they lost in the playoffs. So that's inevitable.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, beating the Rams, chances are you're probably going to lose to them if you play them a third time. That's just the way history goes. Rarely. I think it's happened one time. And I want to say, oddly enough, it was in division. I want to say it was between the Eagles and the Cowboys. And the Cowboys beat the Eagles 3 times. I could have that backwards, but that's the only time I think that it's ever happened. And it was in division. So that's possible, right? Like
that must have been with Jimmy Johnson or something because.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. It was a long time ago. And I guess technically it would have to be in division in order for you to play a team 3 times. But I want to say it was Dallas and Philly, early 2000s, actually. So I think it would have been post Jimmy.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up, though. I'd have to look it up.
That sounds more like the Tuna. I think he would join the.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Maybe it was around there.
Somebody in the chat, if you don't mind, look it up to see how many times it's happened. I want to say for sure it happened with Dallas and let me hold that hat.
But I don't know. Maybe it could happen. I don't know.
It could. It's just not likely. Especially okay. So think about it like this: you play a team week 18, right? You've already beaten them once. Week 18, both teams are playing for something. You beat them, which means you're showing them everything you have.
Yeah.
Then you got to come back the next week and beat them again. That's tough, man. That's a tall order right there.
Yeah, that's what happened last season. I mean, and I know it didn't with the Seahawks and the Rams.
Yeah.
Remember they played I think it was the second last week, and Seattle won, and then Seattle lost in the playoffs to the Rams, as you know.
Spot on. You're spot on with that. Yep, you're right about that.
Yeah.
Real quick, if Jimmy does play, does that change your prediction for Sunday?
I don't know. Is it going to be rainy?
Rainy with a bad thumb? Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I live in the Bay Area, and it's kind of it's wet, so I think it's supposed to rain all week.
Interesting.
But I still think he can win.
Yeah. Run the ball, right? 40 times. That's basically the recipe.
Definitely.
Right,
and I don't know. And one thing about Lance is I hope he's worked on the short intermediate throws, and not throwing it like a starting pitcher on the Giants.
Well, we'll say this before I get you out of here, Tommy.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. It's going to be interesting if he does play, because you are on one side or the other. Sitting Trey, a lot of people were fine with. The other half of the fan base was not fine with. So, with that being said, is this the right move? Was sitting him the right move? If he comes out and he doesn't look improved at all, that's going to be curious, right? Like, what the hell? How'd this guy not improve over 17 weeks when sitting? We have a whole group of people that thought sitting was the recipe. So I'm curious to see what it looks like. I really am.
Yeah, me too.
All right, brother. You have a good one. Thanks for tapping in
you
as
too.
always.
Thanks for having me. I'll see you next time.
All right, brother. Later.
All right. Happy New Year.
You too, man. Okay, let me get to El Nino. Let me make sure there's no super chats, and then we'll get to El Nino. Here we go. Hold on. Hold up. Got one. I'm losing it. Here it is. William Bennett says, appreciate you, Jess. Keep holding it down. I appreciate you, William. Thank you for holding it down in the chat. And let me give you this for my token appreciation. All right, El Nino, coming to you, brother. What's going on?
Yo, what's up, Jesse? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good, man. Shout out to you, man, for the, the platform, and man, as staying active with the 49er news, and between you and Grant and all the other guys, man, y'all definitely inspire, a lot of sports fans like myself, especially Niner fans, to, be involved. You know what I mean? Just heavily involved with these different conversations, what have you. So, shout out to you, man. We appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate the kind of words. I really do. I don't know if you're on Twitter, but I was in a Twitter space earlier and we were talking about this, how the 49ers don't get a lot of exposure nationally. And even from their beat reporters, the guys that are closest to the team, Grant's the only one that actually does this. Some of the other guys have started to do it a little bit, but I think it's cool. All of you guys are just as smart as we are. We're just willing to get on here and do it every week. But I appreciate the perspective of the fans. And I think this fan base, just being real with you, I've ran a lot of sports podcasts in the past and dealt with every fan base pretty deep. And I can tell you that the 49er fan base is one of the most educated fan bases, bar none, no question about it. So I love hearing from you guys.
Yeah, man. No, it's it's like a breath of fresh air with the whole media platforms and stuff now, being that the content creative aspect of things is becoming much more prominent. So it's just giving a lot of guys like, yourself and ladies and gentlemen, or I'll say, the opportunities to be able to, join together and, create things like this and, get these conversations going. And, it does a lot for just fans in general, because we could talk sports all day, but when you're able to actually interact with people from totally different spaces and places around the world that's not family or like your immediate friends or people you see on a regular, you know what I mean, it's pretty cool. So yeah, man, it's definitely positive. But yeah, man, just still kind of disappointed about that last game. you know, in my opinion, I feel like we gave away both Seattle games. We gave away the Green Bay game. We gave away one of the Cardinals games for sure. And you know, this game we just lost against the Titans. And you know, if I think it's a little bit different, and it's, you know, when you actually have the opportunity and you guys are you're at a certain level as a team to be able to, you know, complete these, you know, games, but you're actually giving it to the opposition. It's a little, you know, it's just irritating. And here we are already at the end of the season. And I said weeks back, I didn't want to be in this position to where we're having to worry about other teams losing and winning in order for us to have an opportunity to make it into the playoffs when we're such a, you know, a talented and complete team that, you know, for us to put ourselves in that position to just, you know, it's really like it's like a bitter taste, you know what I mean, nonetheless. And, you know, it's just a bit disappointing because, you know, the season goes by really quick, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike says that it says it's full. Yeah, right now I've got the chat room full, so keep trying. As soon as somebody pops out, try to hop back in and I'll get you guys in, but it's stacked right now. It only allows 10 people backstage. I'm with you. That loss to Tennessee, there's a lot, and you pointed to all of them really that can kind of stick in your craw as a 49er fan. That being said, they're in this position now, right? And this team has been up and down all year. We don't know who they are. The only thing we know is that they're extremely inconsistent, which, by the way, is what their quarterback has been. And unlike 2019, where you had a dominant run game, you had a dominant defense to cover up for some of those inconsistencies, you don't have that anymore. And so the team goes with Jimmy more so than it did in, say, a 2019. And so here we are. We're in this spot. Maybe Trey Lance plays. It sounds like he's going to. I believe he's going to. If that's the case, it's going to be interesting to see how this fan base takes that. If he plays really well, what are you going to hear? If he doesn't play well and God forbid they lose, what happens with the fan base? Do they lose their mind? I'm going to say chances are they probably do lose their mind a little bit. Either way, it's going to be fun to watch. And hopefully, for all of our sakes, that no matter what happens, the 49ers win. But I'm with you, man. You broke down all those losses, and all of them were huge.
Yeah, man. You know, it's the quarterback controversy has been pretty, you know, heavy. It's kind of crazy that when we lost that Super Bowl in 2019, you know, I was looking and I'd seen some highlights of Trey in the draft, you know, before we had gotten Brandon Ayuk and stuff, and he was just a redshirt at the time. But I was seeing Trey and he was, you know, looking really good, and I was like, man, it'd be really nice to have a QB like that. And I said, but we probably wouldn't even end up being able to get him until like his sophomore or junior year. And then, you know, fast forward, we go through 2020 and we end up actually drafting the kid, man. So it was just really, you know, crazy how we ended up getting him and stuff like that. And I know it's been a melee with all of the, you know, the back and forth between the fans and stuff like that. But, you know, we just want the best man to, you know, to get the job done. And initially I was thinking like, oh, Kyle could kind of use him like a Taysom Hill. But when I looked at Trey and how he plays versus Taysom's much more, in my opinion, of like an aggressive guy who likes to run and likes to do those kind of things. I think Trey maybe likes to do it, but he has more to offer in the pocket and is more of a system kind of guy that can really that can run and obviously do other things athletically, but he's kind of more of a complete QB, and he's a little bit less aggressive in that aspect. You know, I'm just saying when it comes to the run, like, you know, if you think about when he tried to go through those three guys at the end zone, and then he got stopped at the 1 yard line. Taysom would have got that because he would have made a different play, but that's because that's kind of like more of his thing. Trey likes to get down in the pocket, move around, and he let the ball fly. I just felt like it was a little bit different. So I ate my words with that. And when I started to see him, I said, okay, no, he's not like the Taysom Hill kind of guy. And I wouldn't honestly want that to be what we utilized him for, especially considering the real estate that we gave up. So it would be, you know, counterproductive, you know, 1000% to even go that direction. So I'm hoping that Kyle doesn't try to do too much, running with him and, you know, doing all of these, you know, these power runs and all this stuff. It's like, you know, come on, let the kid get in the pocket, let him get comfortable, because all of the other rookies have had, you know, all these games to fall and get up and fall and get up. And in trades, everyone has these high expectations, which is a bit overzealous considering the fact that he hasn't really gotten anywhere near as many snaps or starts as these other guys have, to where they're actually able to, you know, show how well they're doing and developing while having these starts throughout the season.
Yeah.
Trey hasn't gotten that opportunity. So we you know, we want to see him do great. We want to see him do everything squeaky clean, but we got to understand that he hasn't had the opportunity that these other guys have had. And you learn on the job, you know what I mean? And he has to get comfortable. He has to get familiarized with just how things go from game to game, from play to play, and through decision making and everything. So I'm just hoping that he's able to really, you know, take it all in and, you know, look at things from the perspective necessary to give him the chance to make those decisions correctly. Because there were some things that I know he wanted, you know, he would like to do over again. We've seen
He said that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's another thing that I respect about Trey, is that from the giddy up, he's been accountable for what he needs to work on. He's very, you know, he relays that after the, you know, I just want to get better. Well, that was on me and this, that, and the other. And those were things that used to really just piss me off about Jimmy, is he's always doing the, like they say on Grant's show, he's talking French with the wee stuff, but he's not saying I. And you know, I played quarterback when I was in high school, and, you know, we have a large responsibility when we play that position to, you know, operate a certain way and hold ourselves accountable. And just as adults in the regular world, we have to have that accountability and self-assessments that we have within ourselves, and what we're not doing and what we're doing correctly versus not, or however, whatever, whether it's in your family, it's at work, you know, whatever it is. It's you got to hold yourself accountable when you know that you're not doing what you're supposed to. So that's really irritated me about Jimmy. And even still to this day, we don't hear him saying that. And that to me lacks leadership, you know, in a lot of different ways. I mean, he can get down on the field, but he has to have the people around him. He can't put everyone on his back and say, come on, you guys, we're going to do this. And we're going to, you know, it's just a little bit different there. So I like Jimmy in the sense that he can get certain things done. However, I just feel like he's not our guy. You know what I mean? And I was high on him when he won those 5-6 games before we gave him that big contract. But now, after seeing things and how it's kind of gone, I'm like, man, that was a blown opportunity. And then we find out about all the QBs we missed out on, you know, throughout the last few, mainly the 2017 draft and moving forward, and Kyle banking on Cousins. So it's like we're facing all of the ramifications from this lack of decision making and proper planning by the management and by Kyle and what have you. And so, you know, hopefully this is the opportunity that we're actually able to get with Trey, and you know, we can really start to see, you know, a change for the better in moving forward. You know, because we got the guys around us to be able to do it. And we do have the coach. It's just, you know, Kyle's got some responsibility too. You know, I'm not going to put it all on Jimmy necessarily. You know, the team, it's a team game. But, you know, it's a collective, and that's why it's important for everybody to do their jobs at a high level, whether on the field or off the field. You know what I mean?
I agree with you, man. I think you're spot on. Hell of a take. Thank you so much for calling in, my guy.
Yes,
Hopefully
sir.
I
Yes,
hear
sir.
from you in the near future. I appreciate all that. Hopefully we get to see Trey, man. That's really what it comes down to. I think we're all excited, you know, no matter what side of the camp you're on. I think everybody's a little bit curious. How's this thing going to play out? And can he come in? Can he look good? Can he win a game? And let's go from there. Right now, the 49ers are fighting for a playoff spot. They have to win this game. It is a must-win game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, regardless of who's at quarterback. I just personally hope it's Trey Lance. It would give me a little bit of excitement.
Yeah, me
and
sure.
I think you feel the same way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Me too, for sure, man. Thank you for the platform, man. It's my first time calling in. I'll definitely be back again. And
Yeah, that was a
man,
great
shout
call.
out to you, man. Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, let's go clean up, man. You know, I say let's just close out strong with these last 2 games and go take what's
Yeah,
ours. You know,
I
because
agree. I agree.
we're worthy. But peace and
Yes,
love,
sir.
man. Thank you, Jesse.
Yes, later, man. That was a great level-headed take. Loved everything that he said. We got JT with the $1.99 says NFL equals rigged. Ultimate reception equals YouTube. Ultimate reception equals magnetic. I've seen things like that. It's hard for me to get behind a conspiracy theory. And conspiracy theories have a bad rap because a lot of it's just true. I don't know. I don't know with the NFL stuff. That the magnet ball and all that. That's a little far for me. I definitely question some games, calls, things like that. I just don't know how deep it runs, or if it's just my fan frustration, right? When it happens to the 49ers. So who really knows with that stuff? Let's hope if it is rigged, that it's rigged towards Trey Lance starting on Sunday and the 49ers winning. So let's hope for that. But that being said, I do owe you a thank you, and here it is. George, you ready to roll, man? You good, George? You're next. Hopefully you can hear me. We'll see. George, here I go. What's up, man? I got you.
Hey, I've been hearing a lot of hang on, let me gather my thought. Well, the thing gotta say about Jimmy G's finger injury, he was making all these bad because I sent the same thing to Jason Aponte in his chat already. I already listened to his chat. I already sent it to his chat saying that before all those mistakes, before his finger even got hurt, Jimmy G was making those mistakes that even a rookie makes all the time. He was making the exact same mistake. If you had Trey Lance in that same situation, he's a rookie. He will make that mistake, but he will learn from that mistake and then get better. That's the one thing I don't like about Jimmy G. That people keep saying it was because I've been hearing ESPN, all these B writers saying that Jimmy G finger was hurt. That's why he made those picks. That's why he threw those interceptions. No, he was making those mistakes before even his finger got hurt. Staring down your linebacker, staring down the linebacker, staring down one read. He doesn't go through his progression. You got to go to point. You got to go to one progression, 2 progression, and then 3. But he is staring down Kittle in the end zone for at least a minute, just staring down Kittle the whole entire time. He didn't even look. His head did not turn right or left or even swerve. It was stuck in one point. And as a cornerback, you already know that he's gonna throw to Kittle. You already know that he's gonna come to Kittle because he's looking directly at Kittle the whole entire time. So that's why I'm trying to say that all those mistakes was happening even before his finger got hurt. People are saying that it was because of his finger, that's why he threw those interceptions. No, it was not. He makes those mistakes all the time. That's just how he is. That's just how Jimmy G is. That's who he is. People just need to realize that it's time to move on. We need to see what the kid have. We haven't seen what he had. We haven't seen him run Kyle's system. His finger was hurt in Arizona. People are putting him down, saying that he haven't played. He doesn't have enough. Everybody is pointing to that Arizona game, saying that he didn't play well in the Arizona game. Well, he didn't run the system in Arizona. They pretty much ran him to the ground until he.
Oh, I just lost you. I can see you. I can't hear you.
Jesse.
Okay, I got you. Okay. I got you.
Huh?
I got you.
Hang on. I can't hear you. Hang on.
All right.
Hold up.
I get what he's saying though. I mean, basically, he's just saying it's time to move on. He thinks that Jimmy makes those mistakes regardless of the finger injury. Technically, he's
Jesse,
right.
hold up.
Jimmy was making those. Yeah,
you.
I got you. Technically, give me a thumbs up when you can hear me. I got you muted. You got me? You can't hear me. Okay. I'm gonna kick
Jesse.
you. I'm gonna kick you. What's up?
Yeah, just hang on. I can't hear you. Somebody call me. I gotta go out and come back in. Hang on.
I feel you.
Somebody call me. Let me hang up and come back.
All right. I get what he's saying though. I get what he's saying. I'm gonna go to the next caller and then I'll bring him back in for his final couple minutes. But I get it. I mean, Jimmy made the interception to Kittle prior to the finger. He missed Juszczyk prior to the finger. So, we can make these excuses for him, but reality is, I mean, this is kind of who Jimmy's always been. So, Keith, I'm coming to you next. It's going to go Keith, Mav, Sersky, and then Niner Gang podcast. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. It's been a full chat room the whole time. Actually, I'm going to get back to George just real quick. He hopped back in. Let's see if this works.
Yeah, I can hear it now. You good?
See, but I can't hear you. You're cutting out like you were last or a couple weeks ago.
Oh, no, I missed it already. Can you hear me now?
Brother, I kicked you to the back. I don't know what's going on, man. It was working fine. It worked good last week. It worked good this week. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm sorry, George, but I got your take. I got the crux of your take. You're ready for Trey. Jimmy makes those mistakes regardless, finger injury or not. It's time to move on. I'm with you 100%, my guy. I appreciate you tapping in like always. I got to get to the next one, brother. Thank you so much, though. Thank you so much for showing love the way that you always do. Hopefully we can get you back in next week. All right, Mav, I'm going to come to you. Mav.
Yo,
What's up?
yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I kind of want to squash this now. I'm not gonna lie. I really just want to get like this over with the fact that people think we're gonna lose to the Texans. I'm not like the entitled 49er fan that thinks like, oh, the 49ers are going to the Super Bowl every single year, even when we suck, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But if you look like, I think we want to make this a Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, how's the offense going to work, blah, blah, blah. Can we look at the Texans offense real quick and figure out how they're going to score more than 13 points? That's the first thing I'm trying to figure out. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you. Let me give you the path to that just real quick.
Mhm.
I don't know if the offense itself can do it, but the 49ers special teams has been very generous. They've been acting like it was Christmas well before it was. Maybe they're Jewish and they celebrate Hanukkah. I don't know, but they've been giving away presents for a while now. So that's the problem with the special teams. And then, I mean, if the Texans are forcing one interception a week on average, I mean, depending on where they're getting that ball, that could be how. But I agree. I see where you're going with that. I really do.
Like, I feel like a lot of fans kind of live in like, oh, they just beat the Chargers. But we can say this for the Lions. Oh, they just beat the Cardinals and then they get blown out the next week. Who cares?
Yeah.
Rex Burkhead is not good. We can stop with Rex Burkhead is goated. He had one good game.
I feel it.
Actually, overall, the Texans' running game is atrocious. They have terrible guards. Their offensive line is questionable at best. They have young stars that I really think could be good in the future, i.e. like Brevin Jordan, those kind of guys. Like Brevin Jordan, Brandon Cooks is, of course, going to be good. They have some young players that I think have that star potential and flash, but they're not good right now.
No, I agree.
The only way, Nico Collins? But he flashes, but he's not good either. Brandon Cooks is the only consistent thing on their offense. And the 49ers defensive line should dominate today. I don't see how you can try and chip Nick Bosa, whatever you're going to try to do. But I think that Samson Ebukam has picked up his play recently. I've liked his play. I think he recorded a sack against the Titans. We're not sure on DJ Jones. Eric Armstead doesn't generate sacks, but I feel like we should do enough to disrupt Davis Mills, and I think that they're going to have a rough time offensively. When we speak on our offense, the Texans' defense, their run defense is awful. Hello? And it's not just their run defense in general. They have two corners. I think Tavir Thomas has been playing well for them. Desmond King's a solid corner. Their linebackers are iffy for me. Like, questionable. I don't know how you're stopping George Kittle. I think the 49ers win with either quarterback, in all honesty. I think
That's fair. That's a level-headed take. It is.
I think Jimmy Garoppolo throws a pick, but Jimmy throws a pick almost every single game. So what does that matter?
I feel it.
So I think score's 31. I'll go 28-17 as my score.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think the 49ers can force a turnover or two?
Davis Mills has been seven touchdowns, 2 picks. The 49ers, my thing is how the 49ers defense works is that you can't say like they're not great at forcing turnovers. If they do, it'll be a fumble. I don't think that Davis Mills is just going to, or it'll be like a tipped interception. But I don't think it's going to be one of those interceptions where it's just like Davis Mills misses across the middle and Tart gets an interception or something like that. Or like Hufanga, I don't even think Hufanga is playing this week. Is he? Is he good to go?
I actually haven't even heard on Hufanga. I really don't want to answer that because I don't know for sure.
Speaking of mysteries, can we talk about the mystery of Aaron Banks? Where are you, Aaron?
Dude.
Where are you?
I forgot. No joke. This is dead ass. I forgot about Aaron Banks. I really did until you just brought him up. I talked about him a lot, probably through the first 8 weeks or so, but I completely forgot about Aaron Banks. I really did.
Does he just not exist? Like nobody asks questions about him in the presser. It's like the 49ers there's just players on the 49ers that are just hidden. Like you don't learn anything about them. It's just like, oh, Aaron Banks is on the team. Thanks. We learn a lot about Trey Lance's development, and that's not even really because the 49ers want us to. I'm not going to lie to you. But Aaron Banks has disappeared. In fact, the 49ers, just like what it says on screen, the 49ers are one of the most complacent teams when it comes to front office management that I've seen in the past 3 years. And it's bothering. After 2019, you just wanted to run it back. What team does that? The Chiefs won a Super Bowl. They completed the goal that we thought that we won, blah, blah, blah. Bosa was held. Jimmy Garoppolo should have hit that throw to Emmanuel Sanders. The Chiefs actively have tried to get better, even though they are probably one of the best teams that you can have. They added Orlando Brown. They went after Trent Williams. They have this very good drafting philosophy where they've hit on guys, especially at the wide receiver position, that fits their scheme. They have some guys. Their draft class this year was really good. It's funny that the Chiefs draft better than the 49ers, and the 49ers have had a lot of higher picks than the Chiefs have. The 49ers drafting is why our window is so small. And just things like trading up for Brandon Ayuk and not reevaluating the board when the 2020 draft class will probably be the best draft class of all time. At least it's on pace to. Or at least the deepest class of all time.
Here's what I'll say. It's too early to judge that class as a whole. Although I agree, early on it looks that way. But I think it's Football Outsiders. Everybody should go check this out. They actually have a drafting chart on how effective teams are. It's only updated through 2019 because they go at least 3 years back. They want at least two plus years of data before they make a decision. But they have a chart that talks about what the capital was, like grading the capital that year, how high your capital was, and what your production has been out of that draft. The 49ers, I believe, in 17, 18, and 19, ranked like 17th overall, 15th overall, and 5th overall. In the 5th overall year was the year that they got Bosa naturally, right? Bosa and Debo. So, yeah, they've been middle of the pack at best, for sure.
But when you talk about decisions where it's like Jalen Hurd over Terry McLaurin, like a lot of teams make these kind of mistakes.
That's rough, man.
When you think of stuff like Solomon Thomas, like you have to question how much of this is John Lynch, how much of this is Kyle Shanahan, and how much of this is Parag and everything else.
Yeah, it's tough. That's what's the hard part, though, right? Like you genuinely don't know who's doing what. I know what's written into the contract, and after this, I got to get to the next one, Mav. But this is what's confusing to me because what's written into the contract. And you can go back to the first press conference with Shanahan and Lynch. They talked about this. It's physically written into the contract that both guys basically have to agree on every roster move that they make. So if you want to blame Lynch about something, you got to blame Shanahan and vice versa. They talked about the 90 being on Lynch and the 53 being on Shanahan, but reality is they also came back and said it is written in the contract that everybody has their hands in on it. So that means that everybody's got to take the blame a little bit. And it can be frustrating when you see things like they don't go after a Watson or a Mahomes and they take a Solomon Thomas, or they don't get a McLaurin, like you said, and they get a Jalen Hurt. Like, yes, those things can be frustrating, but they have done some, pretty good things as far as late in the draft as well. And that's kind of what saved their butt, because without that, they would not do good at all in those drafts. Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna leave on one thing. It's just the
Yeah.
idea of like when you trade up for Brandon Ayuk, I love Ayuk as a player. I love what he brings.
Yep.
But when T. Higgins is still on the board, like, do you really have to trade up to make that selection? T. Higgins is great. I think he's probably going to hit 1,000 yards this season, or he's going to be really close to it.
Mm-hmm.
And more wide receivers on the board that you could have hit on. I don't understand why they can't evaluate the board properly to determine why you're trading up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my biggest thing is the one thing I will give them credit for, regardless of whether they hit or they miss, they have a reason for doing what they do. Now, it may not be right. Okay. I may not agree with the philosophy, but at least I feel like they're giving a reason for going after the players that they went after. And that's all you can ask for, but they have to get better, especially without those first round picks, man. They cannot have those misses. They cannot be missing every second round pick for the next 3 years. Otherwise, they are going to be in a world of hurt. And this whole rookie contract with Trey Lance will be completely wasted. And that's something they cannot do.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. That was a great call, man. I appreciate it. All right, let me give some love. Lil Lord Stewie, first of all, you were on Grant's show. I think you dropped a hundo over there. I really appreciate it, man. You definitely didn't have to do that. But shout out to you for sure. You didn't even ask anything. You're just like, hey, man, I appreciate your stuff. That means the world to me. And for that, here you go. All right, I'm going to get to King Sersky here in just a second, but I've got 170 people in here watching. Make sure you hit those like buttons. Also, subscribe if you have not done so. With tonight's show, depending on how many people subscribe, for those of you that have been following for a while, you would know that I lost the last channel. Tonight, we can pass the subscribers that we had on that last channel. So if we can break that 2870 mark, we will pass the last channel. That would mean the world to me. So if you could tap in, give a subscription, that would be fantastic. But I got my man King Sersky right here on the line. What's up, Sersky?
What's up, Jason? How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good. How was your show?
Oh, it was good, man. Very good, man. We had to get Jimmy the business, man. You know how we do. So
yeah, I feel you.
But yeah, man. But yeah, excuse me. Just want to talk about this so-called soap opera we got going on over there in Santa Clara. But I think, man, I think Trey's playing. I mean, ain't no way you want to put Jimmy Garoppolo out there that has a bum thumb. And this leads me back to what I said when Twitter Spaces first began. I always said that Trey Lance needed to share his first team reps with Jimmy, due to the fact that there's always a possibility that Jimmy Garoppolo could be hurt, So with that being said, look where we at right now. Jimmy's hurt. Jimmy had the calf injury. Now he has the thumb injury. I mean, it just shows you that this is nothing but a repetition of Jimmy Garoppolo, of his gameplay as well as his his availability. So, with that being said, man, I think Trey Lance is going to play. I think Trey Lance needs to start his. I think Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch need to start his career right now. Jimmy Garoppolo has been playing poorly most of the season. So he's made a lot of mistakes being healthy. So putting him out there with a bum thumb, that's only going to make it worse. Like you just said, his injury without surgery is like 5 to 6 weeks, and you also stated that was the same injury that Drew Brees had, and Drew Brees had to miss some time. So that's just evidence right there that Jimmy Garoppolo is not playing. Jimmy Garoppolo I think we've seen the last of him. And I mean, I don't wish injury on nobody, and I don't celebrate anybody who's injured. I hope Jimmy Garoppolo, heals back right with him. I hope he perfectly heals back up, so he can start his career somewhere else. But with Trey Lance, man, I think we can win with Trey Lance due to the fact that we have Kyle Shanahan, we have an O line, solid O line. Trey Lance has all of his pieces. He didn't have some of his pieces when he played in Arizona. So he has the full deck. He has Debo, Ayuk, Kittle. Kittle didn't play in the Arizona game, so Lance got him, Juice, and then also you got Elijah Mitchell. So I think the same rules will apply to Trey Lance with Kyle Shanahan's offense. Same rules apply. Our identity is running the football. So Kyle is gonna run the ball. Trey Lance being in there will help that run game. It gives it a boost. Put it like that, due to the fact that when Trey Lance engages in handoffs with running backs, the ends have no choice but to freeze because they don't know whether the running back is getting the ball or Trey is getting the ball. So that's a major plus in the running game. The Texas run game is weak. I think the running game is going to be a comfort for Trey Lance, and this is the only difference. Like I just said, Kyle Shanahan is going to run the same game plan as if Jimmy was in there. Run the football, and set it up for play action. This is the difference, and we all know this. When Kyle Shanahan uses the run game, and it's working. When Kyle Shanahan needs Trey Lance to throw that to make that throw, whether it's short, whether it's intermediate, whether it's down the field, the difference is Trey Lance is going to make that throw. So basically what I'm saying is if you have Jimmy out there and the running game is working and Kyle Shanahan needs you to make that throw, Jimmy's not going to make that throw. Either he's going to get picked, either going to get batted down, or he's going to miss a read, or he's going to just do a one read, throw it to a receiver when you got a man wide open downfield, just like we've seen plenty of times this season. But with Trey Lance, run the ball, and when Kyle Shanahan wants you to make that throw, Trey Lance is going to make it. That's the X factor, and that's what we need, man. And that's something that Kyle has been wanting all this time, because this is Kyle's choice. This was Kyle's choice, 100%. He wanted Trey Lance. He got a guy that he's going to coach up for years to come. And I think Kyle Shanahan is going to feel real comfortable with Trey Lance out there because Kyle Shanahan is going to do everything. He's going to be in his bag. He's going to be on that sideline comfortable of doing what he want to do. He don't have to worry about, being nervous going into 2 minutes left in the half because he's afraid that the ball is going to be turned over. Just like the Tennessee Titans game when there was a few seconds left in the second quarter, he didn't want to do the 2 minute offense because he was afraid that we were going to turn the ball over because he doesn't trust Jimmy. So I think now that Trey Lance is on the field, Kyle is going to be more comfortable on the sideline with his play calling. So I think Trey Lance is going to be fine. I think he has safety nets all around him, which is the defense, offensive line, running backs, all the receivers, man. So I mean, I think we're gonna win this game. I think Trey Lance will be fine in the Rams game. I think he's gonna be fine in the Rams game. I mean, I think Kyle is gonna be creative. I think we may see some things we ain't never seen before due to the fact that Trey Lance is out there. I think Kyle has a whole different game plan on the offensive side of the ball since Trey Lance. Like, we may see a few wrinkles. We may see some some things we never seen before. But I think we're going to be fine. And going into the playoffs, I think we're going to be fine with Trey Lance. Even if we're one and done, like, I mean, you got to admit, Jimmy Garoppolo put us in this situation anyway. I mean, the record that we have right now, we could have had the same record with Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. I think Trey's gonna be fine, man. I think Trey's built for this. You gotta remember, I mean, this guy been through adversity when he was, in his collegiate years. I mean, they tried to make this man to play. They thought this man was fit to play defense, and he took it upon himself to say, no, I want to be a quarterback, and I'm going to show you that I can be a quarterback in collegiate football as well as in the NFL. And look where he's at. He perfected that, and now he's an NFL player playing quarterback, and now starting for the San Francisco 49ers. So he's built for that adversity. I think this is not too big for him. I think the way he carries himself, the way he studies, his hunger and his love for the game, I think is through the roof. And I think he's built for it. I mean, I don't even expect him to go out there to have some butterflies, man. Now, he's going to go out there and do his thing, and he's going to have his ups and downs. That's to be expected. But I think he's built for this stage, man. And I think he's going to go out there, run the game plan, and I think we're going to come out victorious this Sunday.
I'm with you as far as he's built for this stage, and this last quarterback class was a really good one. I've been very firm in saying that I think Trey Lance is the second best quarterback out of this class. But if Trey Lance was coming out this year, he would be the first quarterback taken by a wide margin, and he would have been probably the second overall pick. I'm going to guess to the Lions. So Trey Lance is a really good player. And the fact that we haven't seen him this whole year definitely can make you forget a little bit of what Trey brings to the table. I'm not saying he's going to come out and be perfect right away. That's definitely not what I'm saying.
Right.
But in the long run, when the whole thing plays out, 2023, the cream will rise to the top, and that'll be Trey Lance. Trey Lance is going to be an elite player. I really believe that.
Right. I agree. And just for the record, just to let everybody know, to be fair, if Trey Lance doesn't pan out to be the quarterback that he's supposed to be by 2023, we are all going to hold him accountable. And I mean, that's what it is. We're not the type. I'm not the type of person that is just going to bash this person, that person. Somebody else comes in, they do bad. I'm not. I don't show favoritism to none of these players on the San Francisco 49ers. Me as a fan, if you're out there on that football field, I expect you to perform. Whether you're Kittle, Warner, Tart, Ward, Debo, Ayuk. I mean, if you're not out there balling, if you're not out there helping this team out, giving us the excitement, I'm going to call you out. So, I just want to let everybody to know that we have to be fair all the way around the board, man. Like,
I feel it.
You already know, man. It's coming. When Trey Lance go out there, he throws his first pick or have bad incompletions, you already know people gonna come out and just say already he's a buzz, he's this, he's that. You know what I'm saying? When you got an 8-year vet quarterback that's out there making mistakes that that rookies make. So, but just to be fair, if Trey Lance doesn't pan out the way we expect him to pan out in 2023, we're gonna have to hold him accountable. But I don't think that's gonna happen, man. I think Kyle got the right guy. Trey has the tools, man, to go out there and get this offense rolling. So I expect by 2023, Trey Lance is going to be one of those guys you just ain't gonna mess with. He gonna light you up. So
I'm with you,
yeah,
Sersky. I appreciate you, brother. Man, I got to get to the next call. I got 10 people waiting, so I appreciate it. Tap in, Real Talk, Niner Talk. That's where Sersky, you can catch him. And then Twitter Spaces, of course. He's there. He's always in them with me. So Appreciate you, Sirski. You have a good night. All right, brother.
All right, you too, man.
Later. We've got Gabriel Ramirez. So Trey Lance isn't nearly as good of a QBs that came out this year, and you can blame that on your ignorant coach. I don't know if you're a 49er fan. It doesn't really matter. I mean, your opinion is your opinion. That's fair. First of all, appreciate you tapping in, showing love over here. We can disagree, but listen, this is the second channel that I have because I lost all the content from the last one, being that I had to start over. I wish I could go back and show you some of those clips from the draft, talking to his quarterback coach multiple times, why I fell in love with Trey Lance as the quarterback of this team. So, I would love to get into it now, but I got 10 people waiting. Maybe I'll put out another video, a reminder video of why Trey Lance was the right pick. But until then, I got Niner Gang podcast. Somebody else is saying, how do I call in? Well, you do it. Should be pinned to the top of the chat, or if it's not pinned to the top of the chat, it should be in the description. There's a link. I got my boy Dion from Niner Gang podcast coming on. What's going on, Dion?
What's good, brother? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Good to see your face.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Whew.
What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen, man? Are we gonna see Jimmy? Are we gonna see Trey? What's up?
To be honest with you, man, I'm holding my breath. I just don't trust Kyle. I don't. He lies to us too often. And the biggest thing is, like I saw what Matt Barrow said. Basically, Jimmy went out. And it was not good, and he was like, okay, time to go. So my thing is, I'll wait until Friday.
Okay.
I'll wait until Friday to know. Like for right now, it looks like it will be Trey. There won't be any issues. There won't be any problems. I think that's basically what's going to happen. But you never know with Kyle. I don't know. I don't know what his love affair with Jimmy is, or why he wants to force him out there, or why Jimmy gives us the best chance to win, all this stuff. But when you look at it from a standpoint, this is the perfect layup for Trey. Why? You got him going against the mediocre Texans with their crap defense, their crap offense. Like, when you start a rookie, you want to give them confidence. You want to allow them to build confidence in the perfect way. So what's the easiest way to do it? I'm going to go ahead and give you a layup, take the Texans, do whatever you're going to do, make it happen, and everything works out well. And then hopefully Elijah Mitchell's back, so we got the run game rolling again. Trey Sermon's ready to go this week. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he has Ayuk, he has Kittle, he has Debo, he has Jennings, he has Sherfield, he has all the guys that he has that are dressing. Everything just worked out perfectly, Fred even came out today in his presser and said, hey, look, man, what we had to do was we had to kind of talk to him and coach him up. Hey, look, man, we know that you're good with your legs and you're doing that, but make some plays from the pocket, man. Take your time. You're going to get there. It ain't going to happen overnight. And this last month, Kyle said it was his best month of practice. John Lynch has said he's been, dicing up the defense. Fred has said it. So, like, everything leads up and builds up to a moment where we see him on the field. My thing is, I don't need Jimmy to make some miraculous recovery between now and Friday where Kyle goes, yeah, Jimmy's fine. We're going to put him out there. Jimmy is already inaccurate. We know that with a healthy thumb. So you're going to put him out there and make him more inaccurate with a bum thumb? Like,
somebody said that in the chat, man, and I agree. Like, we know what 100% Jimmy is. Do we really want 60, 70% Jimmy? I don't know. Real quick, though, before I let you keep going, I'm sorry for the interruption. I've got 10 of you guys waiting backstage. In the private chat, you guys should be able to see it. If you're backstage, there's a private chat. I just put the order of who's next and the order that I'm going to run it through. If you guys cannot wait, I totally understand. I just want to be courteous of your guys' time and not make you wait if you can't do it. So I put the order in there just so you guys know. Dion, go ahead.
Yeah, nah, you're good, brother. But yeah, I mean, like it's and those are just the things that I worry about. It's like, look, I get it, man. You want to go out there, you want to play for the team, but here's the problem. You cost us the game last week, and you had the nerve to come out and say it was a team. You're not even taking responsibility for what you're doing. Like, you need to really step back and take a look and say, you know what? I was the one who threw 2 interceptions. I was the one who missed a wide open juice. I was the one, who did all these things. Okay, you know what? Maybe I am hurting the team. Maybe I just need to look at coach and concede and go, you know what? I can't do it, man. My thumb ain't right. Like, I can't barely even grip the damn ball. Like, this is not going to be good for us. Put the kid out there, But I feel like he knows it's not in his best interest to have Trey go out there. Because say Trey goes out there and lights it up, man, and he puts up, 30 to 40 points on the Texans, and the defense just holds it down the whole game. You can't go back to Jimmy after that. You can't. You can't look at the Rams game and say Jimmy's healthy, he's ready to go, and then tell Trey to sit. The fan base,
Do you
would
feel
be.
like he's in a bad position no matter what though, Dion? Like, okay, so let's just think about this logically, right?
Mhm.
Let's say he goes out and balls. People are gonna go, why didn't you play the kid earlier? Like, where's this been? We could have had this all season. This is what you're talking about. Or he goes out and falls on his face. Then people are gonna go, that you wasted this many draft picks on this. Like, this is what we're waiting for. So I feel like either way, the only way that like people don't go crazy is if he plays like okay, right, manages the game and they win. Like, that's the only good outcome for Kyle Shanahan, in my opinion. I think either way, going the opposite way, I think he gets killed. I really do.
No, I agree. I mean, my thing is, if you're going to go insane on this kid, for all you people that are fans of Jimmy, you need to take it easy, because you want us to take it easy on Jimmy when he continually screws up week in and week out, and he's been a starter for at least 3 to 4 years in this league. So it's not a good thing. I mean, me personally, I don't feel the kid will fall flat on his face. I think he's going to go out there and ball and do what he's supposed to do and do it right. It will take a little bit of time, but I can say I appreciate, I guess the honesty to an extent, from Jimmy saying he'll do what's best for the team. Hopefully that means he'll sit and just let the kid do what he's doing. He already took both practices. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like Gabriel is trolling right now. I
Yeah.
want to know who your
I don't
team
know.
is,
I don't
man.
know. Yeah, I don't know if he's a 49er fan. I don't know if he's a Jimmy guy. I don't know if he's a fan of
Yeah, I
another
don't.
team. I
Yeah,
feel like he's
I need
trolling a little bit, but
right.
at the
Like
same time, he's here. So I gotta, listen, I
yeah,
appreciate you
like I
showing
look,
support, I
like
guess.
low key. I need more context from you, Gabriel. I need you to tell me if you're a 49er fan, if you're a
Me
Seahawk fan,
too.
whatever. But you got other people to bring on, Jesse. I appreciate you for having me on, man. Thank you for
Absolutely,
doing this.
Dion.
We appreciate it as fans when we get to talk to the people whose content we watch. I do my own content as well, so I would
Niner
always
Gang
try to keep
Podcast.
up with
Tap in.
everybody.
Yes, sir.
So, hey, y'all out there, man, continue to watch Jesse. Make sure you hit your like button, hit your subscribe button for this dude. Everybody else that's hanging in the background, man, come on and give us some good content. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate
All
it,
right,
Dion. You're a real one, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
appreciate you, brother.
Later, man. Okay, let's get on. I got my guy Keith Osborne. He's been waiting for a while. I appreciate you, Keith. Come on, get in here.
Jake, can you
There
hear
we
me?
go. It's working. Yeah, I got you.
What's
What's up,
going
man?
on? Hey, man. First of all, I wanted to say, man, I heard somebody, about 2 people talking about how bad we did in the draft. Yeah, we missed on a few, but I can't let people downplay the Reuben Foster draft, man. There may be some character issues, yeah, for sure, but he was the best defensive player coming out of that draft, and Fred Warner wished he hit like Reuben Foster. That's for sure.
Yeah, Foster had all the skill set, right? And I'll also say this about Solomon is he was playing out of position. That was my biggest issue with taking Solomon Thomas is
Yeah,
they played him out of position. They're doing a similar thing. They're not playing Banks out of position,
right.
but they asked him to lose weight. Banks is a power guard, and they're
Yeah.
asking him, it's like square peg, round hole. And so when you take these guys
Mm-hmm.
this high and then you ask them to play out of position or ask them to do something different than what you saw on film in college,
Yeah.
that's where I take some issue.
The thing is about what Kyle's system is your offensive lineman got to be They got to be agile. They got to be able to move, pull.
Sure.
They got some. Have you seen Tom Compton 15 yards down the field? Like you
Yeah.
got to be able to have them legs. And I just don't think Banks was asked that in college. So I think developing that it was going to take a while when you got veteran guys who probably already know how to move. They might not be as strong as big, but
Right.
they can move the line like Kyle wants.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's just like why why take Banks then, right? Like he's not that player, and that was like the biggest complaint. You hear people that were at training camp, they were talking about how he couldn't move his feet and how he
Yeah,
got bowled over, and so
yeah.
like, well, you should kind of expected that. You're asking him to do something that he didn't do in college.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I was saying. So I feel like they hit on a lot of drafts. They hit on
It is.
some picks. They missed on some picks, and we can't just think every every organization, the destiny out of ours is going to be Bill Belichick and they just hitting on every pick. It just don't happen. You try to you try to shoot for the stars, and you know we ain't think Debo was going to end up being Debo. We damn sure didn't think Fred was going to end up being Fred. No one thought Kittle was going to be Kittle. I mean,
No,
the list
no.
goes on and on. You know what I'm saying? Like Elijah Mitchell. Like you could just go through, like, you know what I'm saying? That takes a lot, and just like Kyle's dad, Mike hit a lot late in the draft too. I think the John might have to do more to do with them top end picks, and I think Kyle really likes to play in them backside picks, like rounds 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's Kyle's playground right there. But I think he don't. I think for them higher picks, he has to answer to John and the rest of the organization for them higher picks. I don't think those
Yeah.
just be Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, they do a good job at drafting players late. That's ultimately what has saved those drafts over these years. Without those hits,
Hmm.
they would be in a bad spot. They really would be in a bad spot.
But
So,
that's every team though. That's every team. Like you
no,
ain't
for
gonna.
sure.
They all not gonna be hits. That's for sure. But now one thing I wanted to talk to you about that I noticed was that in the preseason we was running a pistol when Trey was in. If you notice, you remember in preseason
Yes.
we was
Yep.
running a lot of pistol,
Yep.
and I feel like that's going to be Kyle's secret weapon because there's not a lot of film on it. And if you go back to when we had Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman and we was running the pistol, the only team that was running the pistol more than us was the Washington Redskins at the time when Kyle was there. So,
RG3.
yep, and their pistol scheme ended up being, it was way more intricate than Greg Roman's. Greg Roman's was really efficient, but what they was doing in Washington, they had way more read options out of their pistol. They just had more pistol plays out of their playbook. And Kyle didn't throw all them plays away. You think Kyle ain't throw them plays away? When they say John Lynch said he was drawing up plays for Trey Lance on the airplane, I can guarantee you, I could bet almost anything that a lot of them plays he was drawing up was out of his pistol. That's what he's going to do. And I feel like now that Trey, we're going to see a lot of pistol formation. If that is the case, the only thing that will upset me about it is, why haven't you been running it with Jimmy so the other offensive players can be used to it? Because
That's the issue. That right there is the issue, Keith. And I wanna hammer that point home. I think one thing that is being overlooked, the offensive linemen are the ones that are going to struggle most with Trey Lance in the game. They are not used to a quarterback that can take off and run the way that he can. And you saw it against Arizona, a lot of holding penalties.
I don't think the left side of the line going to really struggle too much with it, but the other three guys might have
Right.
some issues there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's all I really wanted to say, and just let you know. I look out for the pistol formation. If you see Sunday game come on, you see the pistol formation. Remember, I told you.
For sure. No, that's good.
Yeah,
That's a
but
good take. You're right. You're right. And people are in here saying good call. I agree. That's a great take, man. You
yeah,
were in, you were
because
out, and I appreciate it.
it was just us, the Seahawks, the Redskins, and Cam was doing it in Carolina, and
Yes.
so Greg Roman's over in Baltimore, correct? Still running it.
Hmm.
So Kyle's gonna whip it out. Time to tell you, he's gonna pull out. He's gonna pull out the pistol. I promise. But
Yeah,
that's
you're
it, bro.
right. No, that's a good one. That's a good one. I appreciate it, Keith. Have a good one, man,
You
and
too,
hopefully
buddy.
the Niners can pull out a win, bro.
All right, yeah, for sure. 3 points.
Yes, there we go. We'll take it.
All right.
Later, man. This is actually a really good one right here. Thinking Kyle Shanahan can play 40 chess, put some very vanilla draws in for Lance for next week, and take the lid off against the Rams. Read option. I wouldn't put it past Kyle. Kyle does these things. He gets reads. He puts out certain things, play to play, or even game to game to just see how teams react. He definitely puts out feelers like that. So I'm not going to put it past Kyle for that to happen. The problem is that they definitely have to figure out a way to win this game. They have to win this game. There are no other options. You lose, you're most likely done. That's it. It's win or go home at this point for the San Francisco 49ers. They have to get this win in, especially with the Saints losing. You cannot end up in a tie with the Saints. You cannot end up in a three-way tie with the Saints. Otherwise, you do not make the playoffs. So they have to win this game. But I appreciate the donation, and here you go. All right, Waruna, what's up, man?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jesse?
I'm doing good, man. Good to hear from you. What are your thoughts on all this craziness that's happening right now?
Yes. So basically, I have two quick points to make, Jesse, about the Titans' loss. Now,
Okay.
against the Titans, the blame, I'm not going to talk about the percentages, but there is some percentage is shifted towards the defense, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm going to argue against that. I'm going to say it's 100% Jimmy Garoppolo. Here's the reason. Now, when we lost to Green Bay, we won against Bengals and other games. When we pointed out the bad plays from Jimmy Garoppolo, the whole argument was like, Jimmy Garoppolo came back with a clutch drive. His last drive was good. So don't just try to pick and choose whatever the bad plays that you want to criticize Jimmy Garoppolo. Just take the entire package. So that was the argument, right?
Yes,
Throughout
absolutely.
the
Yes.
take the entire package. Now, if you think that way, Jesse, the Titans game, the defense, the football was shared, the time of possession, it was 30 minutes between two teams, 30 minutes something seconds and 29 minutes something seconds. That means defense gave the opportunity, 50%, the equal opportunity to the offense to do the scoring. And then they only allowed Titans 20 points, which is less than the average points per game that Titans scored in this season. They scored 24 points per game average. Defense was able to restrict them for 20 points. That included Jimmy Garoppolo pick resulted a drive from 18 yards for 7 points. And that defense does not have good corners right now. Ambry Thomas, Josh Norman starting. Now, if you ask us to take Jimmy Garoppolo's whole performance, the package in a game to evaluate him, you have to take that defense's whole performance where they were able to manage Titans for 20 points in a short week as the whole package. So your offense led by Jimmy Garoppolo could not score 21 points or whatever more than what this defense held the Titans to. So that's why I blame Jimmy Garoppolo 100%. He is not man enough to accept that. Jimmy Garoppolo 100% is to blame for that loss. The Jimmy fans or Jimmy stands or whatever, they are not man enough to accept that as well. They are asking us to judge defense on a different scale while asking us to judge Jimmy Garoppolo on another scale. That suits them. I don't like that. Whoever does that, Twitter or maybe I don't like that. So that's my first point. Jimmy Garoppolo did cost that game. He did not have whatever it is to accept that. The second point is I hate to see Trey Lance starting this weekend because this season it's kind of already ruined, I would say. Not ruined in the sense we are not going to the Super Bowl because we can believe in miracles or whatever it is, but NFL is not the place. Because if you think about it, the last two teams to make it to Super Bowl playing 3 road games are last year Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Green Bay Packers when they won the Super Bowl. Who did they have? Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Last year there was a killer defense. So NFL is not some place that Detroit Lions this year can win the Super Bowl. NFL is not that place, because when you play, especially playoff games, when you have to play 4 games, there is a certain point that your quarterback has to carry the team, no matter what your coaching blunders, the defensive blunders, offensive holding penalties, whatever it is. That's what Patrick Mahomes did in 2019. I believe that was the season he was trailing against Houston Texans. Texans were leading like 21-0, but Patriots came back to win that game 44 point something, right? As far as I
Yeah.
remember.
Yes. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right
Right?
about that.
So that's what you need that. So I want Jimmy Garoppolo to play out last 2 games. If we are going to playoffs, not because I hate the team, I just want this chapter to end in something meaningful way that we can learn, everyone can learn something out of it. That Jimmy Garoppolo is not the guy if we want to win a Super Bowl, because every year you can't give Jimmy Garoppolo the best defense in football, best running game, everything. He has to pick up some slack. He is not the quarterback to do it. So this is the perfect opportunity. Day by day, people are eager to understand it. I'm seeing tweets saying after last week's game, okay, I'm no more supporting Jimmy. I do now understand this stuff. So that's why I really hate to see Trey Lance starting, because this year is already gone. I want Jimmy to close it out, do whatever he wants, and trade him or whatever his next destination, but start the next year fresh.
That's totally fair. There was some stuff going on in the chat room I'm sure you didn't see, but everybody that's calling it out, I appreciate you. Definitely blocked that dude. I am the new Matumbo, absolutely, for sure. Varuna, I'm with you. Do you? I know you're big on your predictions, so I have to ask you before you get out of here. Do you think this Sunday changes, like, if Jimmy plays or Trey plays, are you changing your prediction based off that?
Not really. I still think whoever plays should be able to win unless something crazy happens.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm kind of with you. I think either way the 49ers should be able to win. I will say this, Jimmy with that thumb injury does worry me a little bit more than Trey. I think he'd be pretty erratic. That worries me. But I think the 49ers should be able to run the ball 40 times, especially if Trey plays. And I think the 49ers will win either way.
Yeah.
All right, brother. You have a good one, all right?
Okay. Good night, Jesse. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you too, man. All right. Let me get to Mr. I call him Notorious, Mr. Mike Miller. He's always stirring up something. Some people love him, some people hate him, but he always gives me love, so I love him. Mr. Mike Miller, what's going on, man?
Yeah, they're going to hate me again tonight. Because you know why? I don't give a rat's whatever about Jimmy G and his little boo-boo. Okay, he's got $120-some million. He can deal with a boo-boo and carry it on to the next team. We need to start Trey Lance now, because we don't need boo-boo to cost us a playoff berth. And he will cost us a playoff berth. Because let's look at the 2 games they played. Trey Lance played Arizona when they were at the top of their game, the top of the league. He played against them. Mm-hmm. He was a foot away from winning that game. Jimmy G played a middle school Arizona team and got his ass handed to him. Mm. That's the difference in the two. Trey Lance was a foot away from winning against a top team in the NFL at that time. Were they not the best team in the league at that time that he played them?
They were, yeah, clearly. They were clearly
hands down whooping everybody and were ranked number 1 in the NFL rankings. foot away from winning it compared to getting his ass kicked by a high school team or middle school team. You know, I don't feel sorry for Jimmy. It's time for him to go. It's Trey Lance's time. The one guy says, well, you know, Jimmy G gets 2021, Trey Lance gets 2022 now. Well, this game is in 2022. Let's go ahead and start it now. Yes. This is 2022 coming up Sunday. It is the first of 2022. Let's get it on.
Touche to Mr. Miller. That's 1 point to you, sir.
I am
Yes.
sick and tired of Jimmy G's excuses and all of his whiny crybaby excuses. People that love him. Sick and tired of it. Let's think about it this way. 20 yards down the field to the other end zone, teams don't have to play it because he can't throw deep. Yep. They literally don't have to play. 80% of the field is off limits to Jimmy G and the defenders. They don't have to play it. They can all crowd the line. You know, it's going to be nice to see a quarterback that can open the field up and hit them downfield passes, because I think Trey's actually hit more downfield passes than Jimmy G has this year, and he ain't played, what, in 2 games? 3 games maybe? Total that he's gotten into and started one?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually looking at some stats. So I went back and I looked at the 6 quarters that Trey Lance played. The percentage of downfield throws and outside the number throws were extremely
high compared to Jimmy. Yes.
Yep.
It's going to be nice.
And behind the line of scrimmage. So in 6 quarters, I think he had 43 attempts, and I think only like 3 passes were behind the line of scrimmage or something like that.
Yeah.
It was 7 passes of 43 and 14. Jimmy's had 14 in the last 2
Well,
games.
if you think about Jimmy, a lot of them deep passes that he's been making are behind the line of scrimmage passes that were taken for deep plays.
No, you're right. You're right about that.
People that are doing this for him.
No,
it ain't
you're right
Jimmy
about
doing
that.
all these big yards.
No, you're right.
But Trey's throwing the big yards, and they're turning it into even more. You know.
Yeah.
I am so glad he is hurt that we can move on from him now. And I don't care what anybody says. When he walks out there to start practice and he turns around and walks straight off the field, it's a reason. It hurts like hell. He can't do it. He's not going to do it. I'm sorry, he's not God. And God at Mr. Miyagi ain't come in there and clapped his hands together and started rubbing. It ain't happening. He's not going to play. You cannot play with a broken bone and a ligament that is stretched to no ends. Just not going to happen. There is no Miyagi in this world.
Hey, here's the thing, and here's what I said. If he were to play, first of all, extremely high pain tolerance. Give him credit for that. But is it right for the team? You look at Drew Brees, who, very tough player, played with multiple broken ribs. He had this same injury, and he missed quite a bit of time in 2019, it was, I believe. So to expect Jimmy to play, I don't see it. I really don't see it.
Did Mr. Russell Wilson have a messed up thumb too?
It was an index finger, but it was a very similar injury.
It's still the same injury.
Mm-hmm. Very similar.
Index finger is probably a less of injury than the thumb. The thumb has to grip the ball. That's what you grip the ball with. You can grip it with 4 fingers and a thumb. You can't grip it with no fingers. And you know why? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but in other words, index finger you can play better than with a hurt thumb.
Your pressure on the ball.
High tolerance to pain also.
Right,
Probably
your pressure on the ball
G.
comes from the thumb and that middle finger, and then obviously that index finger is the last one off the ball, so that can control some accuracy. But that's not going to stop you from being able to grip it and throw it
this year because he's not back 100% neither.
It's true. Very true. Yep.
But, I just don't see Jimmy playing. I mean, there's no way he's not God. It's not going to happen. It's just they can all wish and hope and whatever. Miyagi's not coming out there rubbing his hands. Like I said, it's not going to happen.
So. What's funny too. Obviously, nobody can see you, but they hear the sound effects, the hand sound effects. I love it. Yeah, that's good.
They know what I mean by that.
Rubbing the hands. Mike, I appreciate you, brother. You have a good night. I love it. You're always bringing the fire.
Hey, if Trey Lance plays the last 2 games of the season, at least I'll have 2 fun games to watch this year.
There you go.
In my book.
There you go. He's riding with Trey Lance. I love it.
Yes, I am. I'm a diehard. Let's bring it on.
All right, Mike. Have a good one. Later, bro. I told you. I told you he'd come in with the fire. You may not like it, you may not agree with it, but he's not holding any punches. Jeremy, my guy, I think you're backstage also. He says war ready. Waruna showing him some love. Appreciate that. That means I owe you this. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. All right, Edgardo. I know it's been a while. Hopefully you are ready to rock. What's going on?
Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm, a little bit in limbo with this whole Trey Lance thing. I'm really excited to see him play. I'm 99.9% sure it's going to happen, but you just never know, right? So I'm a little emotionally in limbo with that. But other than that, I'm doing good, man.
Yeah. So about that, you know how for me this whole season has been about boosting Jimmy G's trade value.
Yes, sir.
And let's say, what if they start him this Sunday and then they make a game plan where he's not asked to do too much, and let's say he still stinks it up. At what point do we bench him and throw away all the trade value we're trying to boost for him and start Lance?
Well, here's the problem. Okay, I want to talk about that trade value because I think that you bring up a good point here. I think that's what they're trying to do, brother. I think that's why Jimmy G was out there today and gave you all the cliche answers. I'm a leader. I'm a team guy. I'm going to try to gut it out, right? That's their way of putting him up there and saying, okay, this guy's not damaged goods. At the end of the day, we're going to make the decision. And he wanted to play. We're going to hold him out because we felt like that was right for the team. That was right for him long term. But trust me, he's not damaged goods. He just needs a few weeks to heal. And that's how you can kind of try to save face a little bit and keep that value high.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like there's been like plenty of times where we could at least throw Trey in to get some reps, but they've gone away from that just to like save value on Jimmy so they don't have too much negative on him.
No, you're right about that. You're dead right about that. That's for sure.
And then also, let's say Lance starts. How do you see the game going?
Okay, so I think that the 49ers are going to do everything they can to run the ball. I'm going to mute you while I'm talking to you because I'm getting an echo back, so hang tight. But yeah, I think the 49ers are going to do everything they can to run the ball, and I think Trey Lance helps that. That was the whole argument as to why I thought Trey Lance should start from week 1. 49ers are a run-first team. Trey Lance helps them run the ball, and I expect 40-plus runs. The Texans' defense is not a good run defense. They are a good pass defense. They will force turnovers. They're very opportunistic, much like the Dallas Cowboys. I believe they rank 6th in interceptions. So you don't want to throw the ball all over the yard. You want to ease Trey into the game, give him chances to move the ball downfield, and ask him to make short passes and then open it up through play action. I believe that's what they want to do this game with Trey Lance. You're unmuted, by the way. I unmute you right away. You're good.
Yeah. I definitely understand the run game because with Trey being a rookie and they have a better pass defense, they could throw a lot of different schemes just to throw Trey off, like we seen with Dolphins versus Saints, how they got their quarterback all wild up.
Yeah, I'll say this. I think the difference is, first of all, Ian Book is trash. So there's that. He's like a really bad version of Jeff Garcia. He plays like Jeff Garcia, but it's not near as good. And Ian Book doesn't have the physical tools that Trey Lance does, right? So just from an athletic standpoint, even if Trey doesn't see the field well, he can tuck the ball and he can run. Or he can tuck the ball, get towards the line of scrimmage, keep his eyes downfield, and make a late second throw. So that's where Trey Lance and a lot of these rookies that play early on are mobile quarterbacks, and they have success because they have those legs to fall back onto, and that's what Trey, fortunately for the 49ers, also has.
Yeah. And my last thing I wanted to say is How come? Why do you think the fan base is so divided? Like, there's like either people that really support Jimmy and people that really want to get rid of Jimmy.
Yeah. Okay. So the big deal is this. For the people that want to see Trey Lance play, it's understandable because you've got 3 first-round picks sitting on the bench, the future of the franchise sitting on the bench, and then you've got Jimmy Garoppolo making a ton of money and basically not playing good enough, in our opinion, to keep Trey Lance from playing. Okay. Um, so I think that's the Trey Lance side of it. The Jimmy Garoppolo side of it is either you're just a diehard fan and you're rooting for whoever's on the field and you just don't like to hear perceived hate towards that player. That's understandable. I want to make it clear though, most of us are not hating. We're just letting you know who Jimmy is and who Jimmy isn't. But I understand from a diehard fan standpoint why you would get frustrated with that. And then there's a side that just doesn't like Trey Lance for one reason or another. They thought he was the wrong guy. They see other rookie quarterbacks playing well, and they feel like the 49ers made a mistake. And now they've gone so far down that road that they're actively rooting for it to happen. And that's what I can't stand either. So,
Yeah, I understand that. Well, I appreciate you, man. I'm new to the channel and it's my first time calling, so I want to thank you for having me on.
Hey, thank you so much for waiting. You waited a long time. I appreciate it, brother. Being new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe, hit that bell
Absolutely.
notification, and then tap in every Wednesday. We do this.
Absolutely. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
All right, brother. Have a good one. All right, Eric Dane, going to you next, brother. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good, Jesse. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
No, I can hear you fine. I just know that you have those audio issues off and on. So
yeah, I turned off my fan so I could hear you a little bit better.
Okay, there we go. All right, good.
So, all right, so I got something I've been thinking about for a little while now. But before I get to that, just real quick, it seems like every time I'm on, I just gotta do a little quick segue to respond to something that Mike said. I'm as critical of Jimmy Garoppolo as anyone. I wanted to see Trey Lance start week 1. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is an average team, which you can be average on the Jaguars. You can be average. There's a lot of teams that you can go to and be average. The 49ers, they're trying to win championships. Average isn't good enough. So I'm critical of Jimmy Garoppolo, but I mean, like calling it an excuse when you get injured, that's not an excuse. That's an injury. Like you're not making that up. He didn't tear off his own bone in order so he could say, "Oh, look, that's why I threw the interception." You know what I mean? So I just think it's interesting how, Ronnie Lott broke a bone in his finger and he played through it, and because of that, that's one of the reasons that he's a legend. And Jimmy Garoppolo breaks a bone in his finger and it's a boo-boo. I mean, I think that's a little I think you're being a little overly critical of Jimmy Garoppolo at that point.
No, he definitely is. He's makes no bones about it. He cannot stand Jimmy Garoppolo. And like I said, that's why I said every time he comes in, it's like people are either gonna love him or they're gonna hate him. But he's gonna tell you how
he's
he
strong
feels.
in his opinions. I will say that. But so speaking of opinions, this thought popped in my head a few weeks ago, and at first I was like, oh no, that's crazy. But then the more I thought about it, I thought like, well, is this really that crazy? Should it really be that crazy? So I've been waiting to talk to you about it. I want to get your take on it. And in order to back up my argument, I did a little bit of research so that way I'm not just, spitting in the wind here. So, okay. So if I was to ask you to list the top 5 most important positions in football, your top 5 would almost certainly include quarterback, edge rusher, left tackle, correct?
Quarterback, edge rusher, left. Yes, of course.
Okay. So and I agree with you. So that's our opinion. So I wanted to see what the NFL thinks about this. And I figured the 2 best ways to do it would be to look up where players get drafted and how much players get paid. So the last time a player went number 1 overall in the draft who wasn't either a quarterback, an edge rusher, or a left tackle was Keyshawn Johnson in 1996. So for the last 25 years, only quarterbacks, edge rushers, and left tackles have gone number 1 overall in the draft. Now, So where they get drafted is one way to see what they really feel about these players, and then how much they get paid is another way to see how much they really feel about these players. So I looked up the average annual contract values. For left tackle, you got Trent Williams, David Bakhtiari, and Laramie Tunsil are all in between 22 to 23 million. It's actually funny. Trent Williams is making 10,000 more than Bakhtiari just so he can say he's the highest paid left tackle.
Yes, I remember that pettiness. I loved it.
Yes. So Trent Williams is the highest paid left tackle. He's currently the 21st highest average annual value. Out of the 20 players ahead of him, 15 of them are quarterbacks. There's one wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, and there are 4 edge rushers: Joey Bosa, TJ Watt, Khalil Mack, and Myles Garrett. So the NFL, the way that they draft and pay players, the NFL believes that left tackle is a very important position. All right.
Yeah.
So now,
yes, of course.
what if I told you that this season there's a left tackle who's currently being graded by PFF as not just the best player at his position, not just the best player in the league, but they're getting the highest graded PFF grades of all time this year, and that player isn't even being mentioned in the MVP conversation. Now, I'm not saying that Trent Williams is the MVP. I'm not saying Trent Williams should win the MVP, but I'm saying a left tackle having a historically great year, they should at least be in consideration. I mean, maybe he shouldn't win it, but he should probably get at least a couple votes.
I think that's a hell of a point, and you broke it down really good, because you basically just said every NFL team values this position as a top position, yet you hear running backs ahead of any sort of offensive lineman, and that's one of the least valued positions in the league from
Yeah.
what they would tell you. I would imagine. I mean, through the research, I haven't done it, but I got to tell you, running backs don't tend to go early anymore, and they don't tend
No.
to get paid. So that tells me you don't value these positions, yet you're putting them in the conversation for MVPs, but not the best season ever by a left tackle, arguably. That's a good point by you, man. That's
Yeah.
a really good point.
And it's, I think, because when a left tackle does their job well, nothing
Yeah.
happens.
Right.
When a running back does their job well, they're scoring touchdowns, they're getting big plays. Quarterback does the job well, they're scoring touchdowns. When an edge rusher does their job well, they're getting the quarterback, forcing fumbles, changing the game. But when a left tackle does their job well, nothing happens, and you don't see how they change the game. But if you look at what happened when Trent Williams was injured this year, it certainly changed the game when he wasn't in the game. You know, their offense couldn't move the ball when Trent Williams wasn't in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right about that. You're 100% right about that. That's a very level-headed take. I like that. That was good. That was really good. Got me
Thank you.
thinking outside the box, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it just because I heard people talking about Bosa for MVP, and it occurred
Yeah.
to me like, well, why doesn't Trent Williams get any love for MVP? I mean, it's an important position, and he's having a great year.
No, that's a good point, man. Hey, get those hashtags going, right? We need Trent Williams for MVP. I love it. I absolutely love it. That's a great take, man. Real quick before I get you out of here, do the 49ers win on Sunday?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think the Texans can stop their run game. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to go back to his, let's try to get to 40 runs a game. If Trey Lance is playing or if Jimmy Garoppolo is playing hurt, either way, I think, establish the running game and put him down early and keep him down.
I feel it. All right, brother. Thank you, man. That was cool. I did not expect that. That was out of left field, and I liked it.
All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Niner Empire, DMV. I'm coming to you after Jamaica Boy. I think he liked, not the last caller, but the caller before. He liked his accent. He says, I agree. I wish I could recite every word in his accent. Get Jimmy out of here. Trey, you got 2 years to get right, buddy. Yeah, listen, I got to say, buddy is universal. A word of anger when you're mad at somebody, or it could be friendly banter. But either way, I love the use of the word buddy. And here is some love for you. All right, Niner Empire DMV, my guy. I'm in Twitter spaces with him. He's in Facebook groups. He's always showing love on the show. Happy to have him on. What's going on, my guy?
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, it is morning. You're right. It's 12:16.
Yeah.
Yes.
First, I think the first thing talk about the Titans game. The Titans game was a good example of what Jimmy G does when he locks someone on a court on a receiver. He made a lot of mistakes, and by him not taking accountability for the mistakes that he made, I think to a certain degree he lost the locker room. He lost a lot of respect from a lot of players there because at the end of the day, it all starts with the quarterback. The quarterback is the leader. No matter how you look at it, how we try to say, well, who's the leader of the team? People can bring up Kittle and Debo and Fred Warner. He's the leader of the team. So in his press conference, him not taking accountability for the interceptions or the missed throws, and for him to say that he would throw that pass again in the red zone, it just goes to show that it's time to move on. I mean, the bad thing is we knew this. We knew the things that Jimmy G could do and can't do. His limitations are very, very high. He's consistent in being inconsistent. And that was the product you got in the Titans game. I know a lot of people in the space were mad, but you can't get mad. This is what he gives you. He gave you some good games, and then he's gonna give you that bad game. And it's always a bad game when you really don't need him to play bad. And for Kyle to put him in position to be successful, and he can't be successful, inconsistent. So you can't really say that. Well, a lot of Jimmy fans are saying, well, they blame the defense. Well, how many times did the defense stop an offense, give the ball back to the quarterback, and he can't produce anything? We could have been up 21-0 in the first quarter, and we weren't. So you just got to take that L and take it with a grain of salt and move on.
Jimmy outscored the 49ers himself. Like, the 49ers scored 17. He threw a pick in the end zone. That took 7 off the board. He missed Juszczyk for 7. However, on that drive, I think they got a field goal. So that was 4 points. So now that's 11 points off the board that he took off the board for the 49ers. Then he threw a pick that resulted in 7 for the Titans. That's an 18-point swing. 49ers scored 17. That right there, single-handedly, is losing a game. That is the exact definition right there.
Exactly. And to go to now move on this week, I'm not worried about his injury. I mean, I said it on the Grant when you was on Grant earlier. He shut himself down at the end of the season last year. So I'm not surprised he's injured. I mean, this is the whole point you drafted Trey Lance. I feel as though Trey Lance coming in the game, he gives you a more dynamic on your offense. If you really look at it, he has the weapons now. He didn't have all the weapons that he needed in the Arizona game, but look at the weapons you got on the outside. You got Debo, you got Ayuk, you got Juan Jennings, you got Kittle, you got Trent Sherfield, you got Mitchell coming back. Trey Sherman's will be ready. But with Jeff Wilson and Mitchell being a 1-2 punch and then mixing in a little bit of Trey Sherman, you can be dynamic. And him being on the field, Trey will also give your running game a different perspective. Defense now have to scheme for him whether he's handing the ball off, whether he's taking off, run, or he's going to throw. And he's going to make them throws outside the numbers. He's going to make them throws deep. He can take that chance. And with him having the time to really learn from the mistakes that he had in the Arizona game and really doing film study, he can be a leader and lead us to a victory this week. So you can't doubt the boy. Yeah, he was a rookie. But at the same time, I'd rather just go on and go with him. If Jimmy's hurt, let him be hurt. I mean, I dislike Jimmy and him being inconsistent. That's why I hate him. I hate Jimmy for his inconsistencies. And he's always inconsistent at the wrong time. He's always fumbling at the wrong time. He's always throwing a pick at the wrong time because of lack of learning how to read defense. And this is a key component into the failures of the Niners and a lot of their losses. Him not reading defense. Him not taking advantage of the clock. Like the Green Bay game, you can go back to that and you can say, well, the defense shouldn't have did this, shouldn't have did that. But how many times did the defense turn the ball over to the offense and they were stagnant? We didn't get a push until Trey Lance came at the end of the first half, and scored a touchdown and got us going. Like, it shouldn't be like that, but everything is happening for a reason. Trey comes in. I feel as though he's going to do well. He's going to do good and he's going to manage the game the way he can win because he's gone through a lot of adversity. They didn't want him to play quarterback, so he betted on himself and became a good quarterback. Yes, he's been out for a year, but give him a chance, give him a shot. Let's all have faith in Trey and Kyle. Kyle is a good coordinator. He's a great coordinator. If he can scheme plays open for Jimmy, he damn sure can scheme plays open for Trey. It's not a shot of a doubt. You got to start looking at that. Like, have faith in the boy. He's young, but he's shown he's a leader in taking accountability for the Arizona game. When you see a rookie quarterback take accountability, that shows growth. That shows leadership. Leaders lead by example, not by fear.
Yep.
Their attitude represents their leadership. His attitude in the game is, I want to score. When the helmet came off of him and he was still stretching to get more yardage, that's leading. That's no matter a shot of a doubt, he wanted to get more yardage. And with him able to move the pocket and to extend the play, that's what makes him dynamic. And that's what's going to really make a difference in our offense. You might not have to use Debo as a running back. You might not have to use that. That's good to have. But the fact that we had to use that to even spark an offense with Jimmy, look at what we have now with Trey playing at quarterback now. He will extend plays. He will try to get as much yardage as possible, whether he can't throw or he will run or he will just extend the pocket. I have faith in Trey Lance, and I think everybody should have faith in him.
I agree. I mean, here's the thing: is I have faith that Trey Lance, 2023, we're gonna know like this man is legit. He was the right pick. What I don't have faith in right now is the rest of the team and him being able to gel on such short notice. I think that they'll be fine because they'll be able to run the ball and he helps them run the ball. But I can see mistakes being made, whether it be from the offensive line, holding calls, Trey Lance just not having the playing time, maybe holding the ball when he shouldn't, that causes a holding call, something like that, right? I think at nature, who he is, Trey Lance is very protective of the football. I don't really expect that he's going to put the ball in harm's way a lot. So I'm not as much worried about that. But if something crazy happens and they don't beat the Texans for whatever reason, I don't even want to hear it. Like, I don't even want to hear it. It's like, yes, I get it. Your guy, Jimmy, has been down bad this year. People are on him. I understand all of that. But this man is 8 years into his career. He's 30 years old. We got a 21-year-old rookie here. If things don't go the way that you're expecting or whatever, we just got to deal with it. Like, these are the growing pains, good, bad, or indifferent, that as Jimmy goes through them is going to help him be a winner. Or as Trey goes through them is going to help him be a winner down the road. So that's where I'm at with the whole Trey Lance thing, man. I'm curious to see how people react. I really am.
Well, you know how they're going to react, even in the spaces. Like, a lot of people are going to be hard on him because he's a rookie. And because a lot of fans are fanatics of Jimmy and they feel as though because he has a winning record, well, let's look at some of the games that he has lost.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's always good to ride a high horse. But like you said, with the growing pains that Trey is about to go through, I think he's prepared for it. I think he'll learn from it, and he'll grow from it. Now, and I really think that he can win this game and go into the Rams game and really compete and really show people that he's a real leader. Because that's what we was always missing. We was always missing a leader at quarterback. No matter what. If you look at Steve Young in the 94 season, it took him to have a players-only meeting after the Lions game to really rally his team. And I feel as though Jimmy don't have that. He's not that type of guy. But Trey is. Trey is a guy that will rally his team, that will push his team to make them believe in him. And that's what you need in a quarterback, especially a young quarterback. So we'll see how it goes on Sunday. I don't see Jimmy playing because with him having the injury that he has, he can't even you can't even hold the ball with pressure. So
no,
I wouldn't even put him out there. I would not. Kyle has to. I know what Kyle is doing. He doesn't want the Texans to scheme for him. So to have this soap opera, that's good scheming. I won't let you know until maybe Friday that Trey is starting. You don't have that much time. You remember, Texans have to come to us. So if they find out, I know they're already planning for Trey, but to not know and it's in limbo, it keeps the defense on their heels. Like, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? That's good. That's good scheming on Kyle.
I
Keeping
agree
the
with you.
media in the dark. Got to
I
keep
agree
them in
with
the
you.
dark.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it's good for the 49ers in preparation for this game. I think it's good for Jimmy G in saving face as far as keeping his trade value high, or as high as you can keep it, and allowing him to continue his career and look good and not come out of this looking bad by saying things like, hey, he's a gamer. He fought through it. He gutted it out. He wanted to play. We held him back. Like, that's the type of things that you're going to hear, assuming he doesn't play. So that's what I expect to hear from the 49ers. Brother, I got to get on to the next one. As you know, it's 12:30 over here on the East Coast, and I got like
Yes.
5 more waiting, my man. So
All right.
I'll peep you on Twitter Spaces. Thank you so much for the super chat earlier, and we'll talk soon. All right,
Okay. All right,
all right,
Jesse.
brother. Later.
Later.
Hey, we got 190 people in here. If you have not done so already, please hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you never miss an episode. And we're going to get on to the next one. I got my man, Shanil. What's up, Shanil?
Hey, Jesse, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. How was your Christmas?
Oh, man. It was, so I've got 2 little ones, right? I've got a 9-year-old and I got a 7-year-old. And first of all, my 9-year-old wanted a VR headset. We got that for him, or Santa got that for him. And then
Nice.
my 7-year-old, he, like, ever since he was like 2, he liked to dress up and be a cop and all that. We got him a bunch of spy equipment. So now he's spying on everybody, and thinks he's like a secret agent. So I love it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Did you?
Yes, sir. How was yours?
I was good. I wasn't really too happy on Thursday because that kind of ruined my Christmas.
Right, right.
I just wanted to win, and Jimmy couldn't do that. I mean, it all comes back to what one of the Bennett said: you can't win with a bitch for a quarterback, and you got a bitch of a quarterback, and Jimmy G.
Ooh.
I'll be honest, he is a biatch, and
Mm.
he was a jock strap holder. He held Tom's jock strap at New England, and I don't know what John Lynch saw in him, and we decided to pull the trigger on him and give him $25 million. And this is the same man that closed his eyes in the Super Bowl and threw it.
Here's what's frustrating, right? Is as frustrated as people are with the contract, and that's fair. My frustration is the fact that they had many outs in that contract. They had a chance to replace him with Tom Brady. They had chances to move on from him this offseason, get some capital from him, or for him rather. And the fact that they didn't do that when they had that many outs, that's what frustrates me. The contract is what it is, but there were outs built into there. And John Lynch and Shanahan decided to keep rolling them out there, even though Kyle Shanahan tells you through his antics on the sidelines, the way that he's talked about him in the past, he's not a fan of Jimmy. So why are you still rolling him out there? So
My thing is this, and it comes back to the deja vu with what Bennett said about Jimmy. I think it was the last 3 days. I think it was Friday. Correct me, I might be wrong, but he said that on Friday before game day, that he said he wasn't going to play, which he could have said that a long time ago, and he's doing the same shit to us right now.
yeah, you're right.
He's not getting Trey ready, and if he's a team player, and if he's a good little boy, he would go up to Kyle and tell him, I just can't go. But instead, he walks off the field because, he can't take it. Like my boy Albert said, he's done with the fan base. A lot of people don't like him, including me. I don't like him, and he's done. That Super Bowl miracle, everybody got to get over that shit, because the Super Bowl loser doesn't come back, and Jimmy won't be back, and he'll probably test free agency, and we're not going to get nothing for this guy. Nothing. Trash.
Okay, so here's my theory. Here's my theory. I think Jimmy, if they trade him, let's assume he doesn't play the rest of the season. I think if they trade him in the offseason at this point, they will get offered a future fourth that could turn into a third depending on how many games he plays. You think I'm off base on that one?
Yeah, I don't think he'll go for any picks at all. Honestly, he's going to be one of them free agents that just roams around. Maybe a team might look at him and be like, "Oh, okay, he could be a backup, help our starter build." But we're not going to get nothing for him. Not even a late round pick. I see him just roaming around, and honestly, he made some good money off of us already, so he's set for the future. Maybe he could have an audition in a porn star role with his other girlfriend.
Golly. Man, you guys are coming in tough on Jimmy today. I get it, man. I really do. Like I said, Jimmy frustrates me to no end. I definitely think he's better than what we want to give him credit for sometimes. I'm not saying he's great by any means. To me, Jimmy is anywhere from 17 to 22. And that's where it's at. I mean, most quarterbacks really aren't going to win you a game. That's the way the NFL is built. Jimmy definitely falls under that. He's not going to win you games. He's a net zero quarterback. And he's done what he can do. He's taken this team as far as he can, but time is ready. I mean, we're ready to move on. There's a reason Trey Lance is here. He's dynamic. He's intelligent. He's physically gifted. And I think it's just time. I think it's time to move on. So.
And one last thing. A lot of his supporters, the Jimmy G. Garoppolo lovers, always say, "Oh, he took us to a Super Bowl." That's cute, because Kaepernick took us to a Super Bowl too. And he won an NFC championship too. It's cute to get to the Super Bowl. It's about winning, not losing. Second is the first loser. Thank you for my time, Jesse.
But yeah, for sure, Shanil. I appreciate it. I'll say this: Kaepernick actually was like the reason, though, right? Like he was the reason that the 49ers got there. He was running all over the field. I mean, those I'll never forget. I'm gonna pull you out, Shanil. I'll never forget playoffs against Green Bay. Kaepernick, man, he put it on the Packers, and I loved that so much. I have a friend who's a Packer fan. He was over watching, and So, Ashley, I'm going to get to you. Hopefully your connection's good. You're next. Then I'm going to go Jackass Penguin, Mike Mosley, Jeremy Price, and then Noah. That's how I'm going to finish this baby out. All right. So, Ashley, here we go.
Hi, can you hear me?
What? Yeah, I got you. What's up, Ashley?
Sick, dude. Sorry, my service has been bad all day. I wanted to ask a couple of things. One, I noticed on your show with Grant that when someone asked him a question about how Trey did today in practice, he talked about how he can occasionally miss and that type of stuff. And I just wasn't sure. I don't know, just the way he answered it, I was like, should we be nervous about if he does play about Sunday? Not that I don't think Trey is going to come out and be unbelievable. I just want him to be fine. I think that would be great if he was just decent for now. I think he'll be better later on. But I don't know, when Grant said that, because I feel like Grant's a big supporter. So I was like, is this him tampering expectations for people?
Yeah, I think the thing with Grant, he sees them a lot, right? And so he sees what I'm trying to tell people. He's not going to be perfect. People need to understand that. He's not going to come in.
Yeah.
This offense is going to move the ball just fine, Ashley, but they're going to do it differently than what they do with Jimmy Garoppolo. With Jimmy Garoppolo, the one thing that regardless of what we want to say about Jimmy knows this offense. Jimmy knows how to operate this offense. And he knows where to go with the ball. Now, the problem with Jimmy is he's not always going to be accurate. He's not always going to get rid of the ball on time. And sometimes he's going to throw it up for grabs, but he knows where to go with this ball.
Yeah.
Trey Lance doesn't necessarily know where to go with the ball, but he's got a cannon and he can make all the throws. So the way it gets done is going to be completely different. He's going to miss high. He's inaccurate at times, but he can run the ball and he has a rocket arm, and those things will be on display always until he figures out the rest of his game.
I agree. And it's kind of interesting because I was definitely team. I wanted to see Trey start from the beginning. I didn't assume he'd be like Patrick Mahomes the first game he played. I thought,
right.
Like, I just feel like that's a thing that people say on Twitter, and I'm like, there's like 5 of those that have ever existed in forever. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's something just to like, yeah, I hope he's going to be really good. And I think like next year he'll be really good. But my thought was if he started from the beginning, he would get better as the games went on, which I'm still expecting. But it's kind of interesting because I feel like I grew to accept that Jimmy was the starter. And I was like, okay, this is just like going to be how it is this year. And so when I heard he was hurt, I was like, oh no, like I do wonder if like throwing Trey in at this time is kind of scary for him, or like bad timing. But then as I thought about it for like less than 20 minutes, because I don't like Jimmy, I was like, no, I'm really excited because I just want to see, I feel like it like reinvigorates like fans' excitement in watching the game. Like even if he's bad, I just want to see, is he going to be really good right away? Is he going to show flashes? I also want to see how Kyle coaches him now that he's had a little more time with him versus in the Arizona game. I'm just like I like can't wait to like see it.
Yeah, a lot of intrigue, and I love the point that you hit on. How's Kyle going to coach him? Is he going to show flashes? That's the number one thing, and I think that's what you got to hold on to. He showed flashes in that Arizona game. Ashley, he had 5 throws in that game that were wow throws. You saw him, you're going, oh my gosh, like this kid has something special. And then you have other ones where you're like, oh gosh, like what's he doing, right? But can he wow you from time to time? Does he show you flashes? And how does Kyle coach him? I think that's very level-headed. That's the optimism. That's the attitude that I think all 49er fans should have going into this. And I think your mind is in the exact right spot.
And I wonder what the narrative would have been like if he would have made it in when he was on that 1 yard. You know what I mean? I think that would have
Right.
shown a lot of like hater, like, because he was so close. Like I liked watching the game. I thought it was fun, but I know that that's. So there was that. And then my one other thing was I wondered if he, like, could this be, if he plays poorly, do you think there's a chance that we see them try to push Jimmy back out for the Rams game? Or do you think it, because I think that's the one reason I grew to accept next year is I was like, I want them to like stick to Trey once Trey's the person. Because I think that's how you'll see him grow. Because you did in that Arizona game, you saw him get better just over the game. So I think over multiple games, he'll get better. And I just don't know what that does to someone's confidence to like put him in a game and then be like, oh, that was a bad idea. This guy with a hurt finger who throws interceptions all the time, we're going to put him back in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think once you go with them, you have to stick with them. I think that was the plan. It's all right. I can hear you. That's all that matters.
I can't hear you. I don't know if you.
I can hear you. Yeah, I know you can see me. I can hear you. Yeah.
This? Does this work?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, you got me? Can you
It's
hear me?
okay.
No?
I
All
think
right.
I said everything I wanted to say. I'll go back down and
All
just
right.
listen on my headphones.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so I'll answer her question, or try to answer her question. I agree with you. Once you go with Trey Lance, you can't go back. Now, they had a caveat where he got injured against Arizona, so that's why they were able to go back. But everything from what I know, slight inside information, people within the team that I do have slight connections with, the goal was to play Trey Lance in that Colts game. Had he not get injured, or had he not gotten injured, they actually would have rolled with Trey in that game. Chances are in the rain, because he can run the ball, that's a recipe for probably winning that game because he has a strong enough arm to cut through wind and rain, and he can run the ball. So this whole season, this whole everything that happened could have been completely different, but it wasn't meant to be for whatever reason. That's the way life is. Everything happens for a reason. And here we are again today. Once they go with him again, barring any injury, it's Trey Lance's team forever. So 49ers Cade, thank you so much for the donation. I've got 4 more calls left. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. I even know it's almost 10 o'clock on the West Coast. It's 1 a.m. here. I appreciate each and every one of you. In fact, we have more viewers right now than we had 2 hours ago. So that tells me a lot. You guys are riding with me tough. Appreciate you. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, and let me show you some love, 49ers Cade, for giving me a donation. All right, Jackass Penguin, what's up?
Hey, Jesse, can you hear me?
I got you.
Awesome. Hey, can I just say, I was trying to get in, I think I was like waiting in line. It's like, well, look at you. It's like we have to have a reservation just to talk to you now. You know?
It's getting a little busy tonight.
I don't like this anymore. I don't like anything about this, but no, no, it's been quite a week. Obviously, I've followed as much as I can. Really quick before I get into the Jimmy thing, it was a couple of calls ago. The whole Trent Williams thing absolutely should be an MVP candidate. But could you imagine if they didn't sign him? How bad this team would be? I mean, it's kind of scary actually if they didn't sign him. Like what? Then I wouldn't have wanted Trey out there at all. I mean, it's just it was really that kind of scary. Just the thought of that. But no, he's been amazing. He's like the only like real reason I think that they do have a shot if they get in. It's because of Trent Williams. I mean, I never really thought about that so much until just continuously watching him all year. Like he's that good, and I'm hoping I'm hoping they actually just use that to their advantage and just bludgeon people on the left side. But I don't really know exactly how that's going to happen. But I just wanted to say like no, that guy was completely on about that. Like
that was Eric. That was I thought that was a great take. Definitely out of left field, right? Like we're all focused on like this week and Trey Lance and stuff, but he obviously put a lot of thought into it, did a lot of research on it. I thought it was a very, very good take. That was solid on his part for sure.
Yeah. Yep. He's an impressive player too. And it's just like, I don't know. It's insane to watch him at his age. And it's like, I think that position does age well if you're that good. I really do. And I think that's like one of the contracts they actually did get that one right. But no, I mean, back the whole Jimmy thing. I mean, honestly, I think there's just like a big divide. And I think that do I hate Jimmy? It's like this is like, I think this has been a big topic of conversation. Do people hate him? It's like, no, I don't hate Jimmy. I wanted Jimmy to be great. Just like you wanted him to be great, just like most of this fan base wanted to be great. No, I wouldn't. I think he has handled it as if somebody's talking about you losing your job every week, it's hard. It's hard to kind of keep that out of your mind and everything like that. And he has been a good teammate. It's not that. But I'm grateful that he's going to be gone soon too. And that doesn't mean that I hate the guy. And I think that there's just that, well, you either hate him or you, and I think that's just going to be what the Trey Lance, like just incoming. That's the low hanging fruit argument. It's going to be, if you lose, well, obviously if they lose this game, I mean, they shouldn't be losing the Texans anyway, but that's just going to be that low hanging fruit argument for a long time. Obviously, I mean, unless Trey Lance carries them to a Super Bowl this year, I mean, all the criticism is going to be coming. But no, I mean, when Jimmy Garoppolo, the reason why, like, I think, and I don't know, the whole thing with like Colin Kaepernick, right? He was the feature of the offense, right? And Jimmy Garoppolo isn't, and he's proved that every week. That's why people don't like him, right? That's why people don't. I mean, at least that side doesn't like him, right? And I think that they always, when they say like, well, a running quarterback's not going to win and stuff like that, Frank Gore had 14 yards in that NFC Championship game against Seattle. So it's like, did he remember he threw that interception, that terrible interception, and Bowman went down and all of that happened? But it's like, yeah, but he went all the way down the field. It's like, well, you can think, oh, Jimmy does that stuff too, but the Jimmy supporting cast is just so much different. So it's just kind of like, it's hard to like always have this argument. It's like, well, nobody hates Jimmy. It's just, it's clear he's like the most predictably low ceiling quarterback we've had. And it's just like, I don't know why I just cannot see that other side of the argument where it's like, I need more than this. Like, what do it's like, what
I hate to cut you off on this.
Yeah.
I just, while I'm thinking about it, I got to throw this
Yeah.
out there. You just talked about Cap and how dynamic he was. Could you imagine Kaepernick with Debo?
Yeah.
Just imagine that offense for a second. Kaepernick and Debo together. My gosh. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, and
Sorry.
it's the same. And unfortunately, like how many people like look back at him and say like, oh, but it's like he was a running first quarterback. You know how many times he beat teams from the pocket? He was pretty damn polished for a dual threat quarterback. And I'll never agree with how he lost his job. I'll never agree with any of that and everything that happened, obviously off the field, everything like that. Like, I'm always gonna feel that way. Like I never thought that any of that should have happened the way it did, right? And that was probably the biggest frustration for the whole Kaepernick thing. And I think that's just like, that's the Jimmy thing, right? It's a completely different situation. He's one of the least impressive parts of the team, and that's putting it lightly, right? Kaepernick was the guy. I mean, what he did against the Packers, you're absolutely right. He almost won not just one Super Bowl, he almost won 2 Super Bowls. And again, that throw that Sherman tipped, that was a hell of a play. Like, I can't, like, I remember how pissed off you were after that game. And
oh my gosh, that was the worst. That was, dude, I was living in Oregon at that time. I'm from Oregon, and I was living there at that was the worst, the absolute worst.
Oh yeah, it was rain. I was in Portland at the time. It was like pouring rain. It was just like the most depressing night of my like. It was terrible, and it's like that was not a bad throw. It was just a hell of a play. But no, the whole point was that like Frank Gore had 14 yards, and yet we never said anything about that. And it was just like, just compare it to today. It's like, no, that's what you have to look at too. It's just like that. Yeah, with Kaepernick on this team, yikes. I mean, that would have been incredible. Probably would have worked this year. They should have just brought him back for this year instead of Jimmy, and hey, that probably would have worked out. But that wasn't going to happen. But
no, definitely not. You know that.
Yeah, but no, I mean, that's it. It's just like, you can hate the guy, or no, I see that's the thing. I don't hate, like, I hate how he never got better. That's what I hate. It seemed like he had all the tools to get better, and an incredible cast. And no, I don't hate Jimmy. Did he turn the franchise around? Sure, he made them more relevant than what they were. That wasn't, I mean, coming from Jeremy Curley as your number one wide receiver, you're not really going to have a lot of, I mean, downside.
Jeremy Curley reference, my gosh.
He had some good games. I'm not going to.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I mean, he was no Brandon Lloyd, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah, nobody's Brandon Lloyd. But anyway, yeah,
I feel it, brother. Hey, yeah. let me say this, because I know exactly where you're coming from. For me, and I tweeted this out. Like, at the end of the day, if this is the last that we see of Jimmy, just remember this: Jimmy didn't decide to overpay himself. Jimmy didn't decide to keep himself over Tom Brady. Jimmy didn't decide to play himself over Trey. Like, those were decisions by the front office. So at the very least, Jimmy Garoppolo has been very professional throughout this whole time, and he deserves credit for that. As far as watching him play quarterback on this team, I'm over that. But as a person, that's where it's hating. If you're going to attack somebody's character, you're gonna say things that are just untrue, or you're making things up. That is the definition of hating. Critiquing somebody's play or not liking the way they play, and then backing that up with numbers or what you see on the field, that's not hate. But that's what I want to say about Jimmy G.
Yeah.
He did not choose to do those things to himself, but he's going to take the brunt of it because he was the one that was in that position time and time and time again, whether it was him or the front office's decision.
Yep. Yeah, there's just there's no reason for it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna. What did Jed say? I'm not gonna. I'm the owner. I'm not gonna fire myself. It's like, well,
Yeah,
starting
exactly.
quarterback isn't going to either, guys. Like,
Right.
yeah, blame. I mean, I don't know who else to blame because I'm so confused at this point. This week specifically, it's so confusing what's going
It
on.
is.
I have no
For
idea
sure.
anymore. That's why I kind of stopped caring about it because I'm like, I'm not going to decipher this. Whatever happens Sunday happens Sunday. I'm still confused. Do I think Trey Lance is going to start? I don't know. I think it's like 50-50 because we're watching the 2021 49ers. Like, I don't. I have no idea.
Who knows? Yeah, at this point, Sudfeld could be the starter Sunday. I don't know.
The fact that we're questioning the fact that you're even asking, or do we win on Sunday against the Texans? I don't know. I have no idea.
Right. You're right. You're right. It's a crazy season, man. It's been a wild ride. This is one of those that I hope that ESPN does a 30 for 30 on later. Like, that's what I want to see from this.
Yeah.
Team.
Yeah,
I would
me
love
too.
to see it. All right, brother.
Yep.
You have a good one, man. We'll
too,
talk on Twitter.
Okay, man.
All right, later. All right, Jamaican Boy says Grant only gave us a piece of what Trey isn't good at, and he didn't want to get too specific because they would the other team would use it as ammo and his credentials in the process. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far, but he definitely has a level of professionalism that he has to carry, regardless of what people want to think about Grant. And then 49ers Cade says big missed opportunity for Hard Knocks not to cover us this year. Yeah, I agree. I was just talking to Jackass Penguin about that, right? Like, could you imagine a 30 for 30 on this team down the road? Yeah, Hard Knocks could have made a killing this year with this team for sure. I owe both of you. I'm going to do it in one if you guys don't mind. I'm going to give you guys love all in one. Thank you both so much for donating. All right, I'm going to get to Mike and then Jeremy and then Noah, and we are wrapping. It's almost 1 a.m. here. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Thank you so much for showing love. Hit them likes, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and let me bring on Mike Mosley. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Jesse. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I am doing good. What about you?
Oh, man. I don't know. It's
I can hear it in your voice, man. What's up?
I don't know whether to laugh, cry, puke. I don't know, man. Up until today, I thought, oh, man, we got Trey Lance in here. Then I hear the interview with Kyle and saying, yeah, there's a 50-50 chance we're going to have Jimmy back. Man, I don't want Jimmy throw the blame back in this team ever again. He has no class. He has no sense of dignity, no sense of honor. This guy sucks simply because he can't even take the blame for the fact that he blew the game. Like you said, 17 or 18 points that he scored for the other team?
Yeah, 18 points between points that were taken off the board and given to the
Yeah.
Titans. Yeah, 18 points.
It's so bad. And I don't understand where people think he's such a good quarterback. He's middle of the pack at best.
Yep.
I keep on remembering Jimmy Pirouetolo doing that pirouette in the freaking game and throwing the ball backwards
Against Arizona, yeah. That was rough.
It's like,
that was
what
rough.
in the heck kind of how can you even think this guy's a good quarterback? Yes, he gets times when he's accurate and he has good throws, but you're going 50-50-50. And I got something that I want to say, Jesse.
Yeah,
I don't
what's
know
up?
where you're saying Jeff Garcia is a bad quarterback. He was a good quarterback.
Who said Jeff Garcia was a bad quarterback?
Well, it's just earlier tonight. I
Oh,
don't know
no.
if you
I think you misunderstood me. Yeah, I did. No.
okay.
I wasn't
Okay.
saying that. No,
Okay.
Jeff Garcia was a really, really good quarterback, man.
Okay.
I have fond memories of Jeff Garcia.
Yeah,
That
I
Giants
was wishing
playoff
he
game.
would be the quarterbacks coach. That would be just awesome.
No, earlier, I think if you heard me earlier, I was talking about Ian Book being a bad version of Jeff Garcia. Maybe that's where you heard it.
Yeah.
No. I was talking about Ian Book being a poor version of Jeff Garcia.
Okay.
No,
I
Jeff
probably
was legit.
misunderstood you there.
Yeah, like no. Jeff was good.
My doubts at this point in time mainly stem with Kyle. Yes, he can OC Jimmy's games like a champ, and that's what he's done for the last 3 or 4 games. But is he going to do that for Trey? Look at what he did in the Cardinals game. He basically threw plays out there that were not anything that Trey should have. He should have something like what he throws out for Beathard and Mullins.
Yeah.
A starter pack, basically.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't know. That just, I am just so disgruntled. So, I don't know. I think if Jimmy plays this week, I'm going to just turn the TV off. I don't even want to see it.
You can't, your heart can't take anymore.
I can't, man. I was like, oh, man, I was just so disgusted.
That Titans game was rough, man, especially going into Christmas. I'm not going to lie. I think
and my
everybody
fear is the way Kyle has been this entire year.
Yeah.
That he's going to be like that the rest of the time with Trey. He's just not the coach for this team. I mean,
that's my fear, Mike. I gotta agree. I got a little bit of fear when it comes to that. How is he going to treat Trey? All those things. I'm with you, man. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, brother. I got my dog in here. What's up, Charlie?
Cute. Nice.
What's up, Charlie? Say hi.
Hey, Charlie.
What's up? You got to go potty, huh? You've been waiting for a
Anyways,
while.
the one thing I can't believe is what I'm going to say next is I think Tom Compton is better than Mike
McGlinchey?
Blockalo. Or miss
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does miss listen, he whiffs on those blocks. I'm not going to lie, Mike McGlinchey, he whiffs on a block or two, especially in that pass game. There's no doubt about that.
God, man. So I hope they keep Compton. I can't believe I'm saying this. I hope they keep Compton and get rid of McGlinchey.
Yeah, you know it's down bad when we got that. Mike, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for holding. I'm going to get on to the next one.
Alrighty, man.
Because I think this dog's got to go potty, so I'm going to clean through these real quick. All right, brother?
All right, man. You have a great New Year's, all right?
You too, man. We'll talk next week.
All right. Bye.
All right, Jeremy. I got Jeremy, then Noah. Amin, I'm gonna hold off on you, brother. I'm sorry. I would love to get to you, but as you guys see, I got my dog here. I think he's got to go potty. Everybody else is definitely sleeping in the house, so I'm gonna bang out these 2 calls real quick and then wrap up. What up, Jeremy?
Yo, what up?
What up?
Yeah, man. Shout out. You know, we out here in the heart of San Francisco with all the good people, the good 49ers fans. All the gang members. I almost got a shot today. Hey.
Oh my gosh, brother.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to everyone. Jesse, good work. Great work. Always there. Consistently throwing Jimmy under the. I mean, I didn't mean to say that.
You chill out with that.
I mean, if I had to pick who's a bigger a-hole, I go ahead and say Kyle, right? And what I mean by that is we're talking about dysfunction here. Jimmy's gone. You know, Jimmy is gone. We know this. It's the history of the NFL. He's gone. He's gone. We're done. Let's move on.
You're right.
So for all you blamers who sit in front of your TV watching your team, hoping we win, and you really follow this team, hey, I'm sorry. It's not a promise of what we're going to get. But for all the haters who contributes to Kyle's dysfunction, we've always talked about this all year. Y'all want to blame Jimmy. Jimmy's not a great quarterback. Flat out, he's not a great quarterback. But I think it's deeper than Jimmy. I think it's Kyle. Excuse me, I think I got the Rona. I got tested. I haven't gotten my results yet.
Oh, no.
But I think it's Kyle.
Stay safe, man.
Thank you. I think it's Kyle, and I think it's his antics. I think it's, I don't want to work for anyone who dogs out the person that's working for him. It's just it's simple human being relations 101. You treat this guy, he's your quarterback. You treat this guy like he's a piece of gum under your shoe. You know what I mean? Whether he stinks or not. You know what I mean? That's why I love Jim Harbaugh. But I gotta say this. Jimmy's gone, y'all. He's gone. Stop now. We're done. Big Trey's in there. All right. Big Trey is our quarterback now. Live with it. I don't want to hear no hate if Trey doesn't pan out to be what you want him to be in 2 games. Right? Like, if he has 2 bad games, relax. All the Jimmy lovers, the studs, don't start harping on Trey. He's a rookie. You know what I mean? Like, it's the Niner game, man. It's the Niner game. What are y'all talking about? The one guy, Eric Dane was his name?
Eric, he's the one that was talking about
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams. Yeah.
And what I took from that was, you know how I listen, of all the stuff we could talk about, we still talk about Jimmy. You know what I mean? Like, come on. He's gone now. UCL tear, all that bullshit. He's gone. And I think, again, Kyle is in question. For me, Kyle's in question. Trey is our quarterback now. Live with it. Live with it. Trey does not. Jamaican boy said he's got 2 years. No, he doesn't. He's got however many years he signed for. I'm tired of paying these people. And these people come in 1 year. What was the guy, running back's name? McKinnon. Come in. We paid him all that money. Didn't do a damn thing. Now he's paid on somebody else's roster. No. When we commit, when you sign the contract, it's till death do us part. Live with it. You guys got all these high standards as if there's a quarterback just waiting to, like, come on, man. If I was Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't want to play for Kyle. McVay handled it like a gentleman, Hey, Goff, you that guy, You're that guy, Goff, but, I got to let you go. He handled it like a G. He didn't wait. It wasn't no back and forth, wishy-washy, unprofessional business. It wasn't no dirty business. They're doing Jimmy wrong, man. They're doing Jimmy wrong. He's gone now. Let it die. Mike, I know you out there in Timbuktu listening like, what the hell is he talking? Listen, Mike, we got bigger problems to be worried about than Jimmy. Jimmy's gone. I don't want to see my team for the next 5-10 years horrible, back to square one, because we didn't want to get rid of Kyle. We blamed everybody. It was easy to blame Jimmy because Jimmy wasn't great. Fine. When we get Trey, we need to follow Trey. That's it. I don't want to hear no critique. Let other teams critique his game. I need y'all to follow your quarterback's lead, please. You have no idea how influential we, as the fans who now have a platform, do to Jesse. Big Jesse, we're influential. These guys are listening, man. And you just harping and harping.
They are.
I know what you're going to
Listen,
say.
I want to say that. That's true. They got people on Twitter and whatever else. They listen to what people say.
Yeah.
Bang that drum. Whatever it is, you got to bang that drum for sure.
I'm
with you, man. We have to support Trey. Assuming that Jimmy is gone, it's time to move on.
Jesse, he gone.
Yeah.
Jesse,
right.
He gone.
I agree with you, brother. I agree with you.
I'm retiring this jersey in my room already, man. I got my.
Yeah, it's already out of rotation for you, huh?
Yeah, he gone, man. He gone. Much love. Thanks for having me. As always.
Appreciate you.
Let that damn dog piss, brother.
All right, brother. You have a good one.
Love you, man. Thank you. Later.
All right, I'm gonna get to Noah. My dog I got a door like right here, but like it's dark, so he's like just not having it. So anyways, let me get to this one. Kim Ferrison says, what do you think the 49ers will do a quarterback? I think Trey's playing. I think Trey is playing this week. I really do. So we'll see if it comes true. I think it's time. I think it's time to play Trey. All right, Noah, bring us out.
Hey Jesse, you can hear me well? My audio's all good?
Yeah,
stuff?
I got you. I got
right,
you.
Cool. Thank you for taking my call. I know it's real late out here on the East Coast. It's like 1 a.m. in New York right now.
Yeah.
But
you're East Coast as well, huh?
Yeah, I'm out in the city.
I feel it.
But I just wanted to get your feel on like how the team is right now, because during that hot streak, I was like really up on them. I was like, we might make an upset in the playoffs, stuff like that. But after that Titans game, I was just like, I don't think we're winning another game this season. So I just kind of want to know what you're feeling, stuff like that. I don't want to keep you here too long.
No, bro, I appreciate it. I couldn't cut you out. You waited way too long. But I do want to say this. I want to say we've seen this from the 49ers. They've been up and down all season long, brother. Like this is who the 2021 49ers are. We just have to get used to it. This same team easily could come back, blow out the Texans, blow out the Rams again, and then go in hot into the playoffs. Like we just don't know what to expect from this team. We have no idea. No
Yeah,
idea.
literally so frustrating, man.
Yeah,
But
it
I'm
is.
happy
It
Trey's
is so
starting now.
frustrating.
Jimmy gets on my nerves a lot. Hate him as our quarterback, but I do respect him as a man, stuff like that. But when he's the quarterback of your favorite team, it's hard to like him.
Yeah, I feel it, and that's just it, right? Like it's not that we hate Jimmy the person, it's time to move on from the
Yeah,
quarterback,
exactly.
right?
Jesse, me and you could have been out there doing what he did in that Titans game. Honestly, that stat
I'm
Grant
not
had, he was like, what, like 80% on passes that went 5 yards. I could
Yeah.
do that. I'm not
Yeah.
even trying to hype myself up, but it's like, come on now.
I feel it. Hey, Alonzo, I see that you're waiting in the back, brother. I would love to get to you. It's 1 a.m. over here, and I got to take this call with Noah and then peace out. So, Alonzo, next time I do this every Wednesday, 10 p.m. in the East, 7 p.m. in the West. I go for about 2-3 hours. So try to get in next week. All right, brother?
Yeah, and that's really all I was asking. I just saw you come over from Grant. I just kind of wanted to talk to you, but
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate you showing love. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so, brother.
yeah, definitely. Like
be
the
here.
video, turn that bell on. Everybody in the chat right now.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Noah. You have a good one. All right.
You too, Jesse. Thank you.
All right, man. All right, y'all. Let me kick this off real quick. Got this. There we go. Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats. I definitely don't want to do that. If somebody paid, I want to make sure they get their money's worth. I think I made it through them all. Guys, I appreciate it so much. Most of you just rode with me for the last 3 hours. That's real love. I appreciate all of it. Hopefully we see Trey Lance this weekend. If not, we're riding with the Niners no matter what. It is playoffs for this team. That's what we're rooting for. Appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that bell notification. And if you want extra film breakdowns, in the link in the description, my Patreon account is in there. For less than a cup of coffee a month, you get all the film breakdowns that I do. We've done one on Trey this last week. We got Jimmy Garoppolo, Ambry Thomas, broke him down. So, yes, we've gone for 3 hours. Peter, appreciate y'all. Have a great night. And let's go Niners on Sunday. Peace.